Shut your mouth loud, 261. Did you want to do the intro? We just didn't agree ahead of
We
time.
just went ahead and slammed the button before we even decided on anything that was happening today. So, well,
Yeah.
um, I guess I can handle the intro from here on out. Ahem. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all others and aliens among you. This is the Shut Your Mouth Lounge. Alex already said it was episode 261. I don't believe him, but that's what the image tells me, so I guess that's what it is. I am the one and only Pink Sparkle Puff. I am joined by Alex, and we will likely be joined by Atty, the hero, later on down the line, but not right now, because he's a little busy. It is
Yes.
currently Christmas Eve at the time of this recording, and the actual podcast will be uploaded on Christmas Day. Oh boy, hope you all were good little boys and girls this year, otherwise Santa's gonna deny you the greatest
Gonna be a double
podcast
upload.
on Earth. Yeah. All right. So,
When you first started off that intro, I thought for certain you were going for the Road Dogg New Age Outlaws routine there.
well, I don't like road dogs, so I,
Yeah, but
I
it
borrowed
sounded like
some
you were
of
going for
this
the full,
gimmick.
like you were going for the ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, Generation X, the Discord of Solitude proudly brings to you
Right.
the Guardian of Bad Music, Pink Sparkle Puff,
Yes.
and the Guardian of Basicness, Alex Jeanette, and we got 2 words for you. Do we?
If we
I
got
don't
two
think we
words,
do.
I don't know
Yeah, we can't even figure out what the fuck we're supposed to be called.
them. We've been stuck in an impasse for like 3 months now. It's not
Oh
good.
my god. Well, I was looking at we were able to come up with our individual titles so easily in the Discord. Okay, Guardian of Memes, Guardian of Basicness, Guardian of Bad Music, and then Derek's the Guardian of Government Cheese. I guess at some point we're going to have to figure out what the hell soon Mike and Goku are the Guardians of, as long as they're hanging around. And Iodil? I don't even know.
Yeah. The Guardian of Naps.
Yeah. Iodil, Guardian of Missing Appointments. Who even knows what the fuck's gonna happen? Because, we've not really been super active with channel recordings or just any recordings or playing games together since the Discord started, because that started at a time that was very hectic for a lot of us.
Yep.
And now my schedule suddenly opened up. Mike looks like his schedule's going to be opened up. And between the two of us, God knows we'll always be on here doing something. And who knows what will happen then? Who will join then? Because Gramps now says he wants in on something.
Ooh.
Who knows?
Rams was like on the very first podcast a decade ago.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
Wild.
I don't know how many of the original podcast guys we could track down. Raven and Sir Boy, but I think we can skip Sir Boy. All right. So, Pink, you got anything coming out on your channel?
I do. I'll be having plenty of Marvel Ultimate Alliance coming out, I believe. As well as
I saw that.
Yes, as well as some more Fallout 3. Once I got the capture card in last week, I really wanted to do something with it because I didn't want to just have it, because,
I struggled to think of a more perfect game for you to record first than Marvel, honestly.
Yeah, that I was going through my library. I was like, I really want to record something with this new capture card because I've wanted to do this for so very long. And then I saw I had Marvel Ultimate Alliance in my library, and I was like, whoa, there it is. There's a winner. That just seemed to fit perfectly, so I was like, yep. Re-downloaded that, got it up and running, and just went straight in for it. And I've been enjoying it so far. I've been enjoying the nostalgia, and I like the content that I was putting out with it, so I was like, yeah, this was a good choice.
Now, I'm sure I've asked you before, and you've told me, but when you first played Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1, what platform did you play it on?
Oh, that was a Wii. That was the Wii. Oh, man.
Okay, so you and I are in the same category where we've never really seen the game in proper Xbox 360, PS3 graphics it was mostly designed for, and none of us have ever seen the DLC, but
Yes.
we both are used to having Moon Knight and Colossus.
Yes. Those
Okay.
next-gen exclusives, yeah.
Yeah, the Wii, that the proper next gen. The PS2 and the GameCube couldn't handle Colossus and Moon Knight. We had to save them.
Yep.
Either which way, yeah, that's a strong choice. I've picked up the remaster collection from Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2 because as soon as they said, "Oh, it's coming with all the DLC," I was like, "Oh fuck yeah, I need to get in." I've never played the DLC for Ultimate Alliance 1 or 2,
Hmm.
but I've never really put enough time in with either game to get to really check those characters out. Have you?
I've played through Ultimate Alliance 1 one time, and I've used some of the DLC. So, like, I've used Doctor Doom and Magneto once or
I can
twice.
take a I can take a guess at which character you definitively skipped.
Trying to remember
Oh,
what the DLC was now. Um, which one? Which one?
well, I'm saying the DLC character out of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 that I think you definitely skipped was Hulk.
Oh, yep, yep. Never
That's the
touched
one I
Hulk.
know out of those 8 characters that I can remember being DLC for that game. That's the one I definitively remember you having a strong opinion on.
So here's the thing, though. As I was recording Ultimate Alliance for my channel the other day, I was like, let's throw in Hulk, just cause. I don't like him, but let's throw him in because he's a DLC character that I've never played before. And as I was playing him, I was playing with his powers and throwing people around. I was like, gosh darn it, this character is actually fun to use.
Oh yeah,
I was not happy about that.
Hulk is one of the most fun characters in every game he gets put in. Like there are loads of people who do not care about the comic books or the Incredible Hulk at all, but love playing Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction.
Yeah, yeah. I play that game as well, and I don't like Hulk at all. So yeah, that's a testament to how fun the big bruiser gameplay can be.
Yeah, well, I mean, especially if they let you throw the enemies around. Even if you
Yes.
don't like that Avengers game, there is something fun about just going up to an enemy, just picking him up and throwing him off the stage.
Yeah. I was winging Atlantean soldiers around like swords because Hulk can just pick people up and use them as weapons. It was awesome.
Right, and who can do that in the vanilla game? Is it just Luke Cage and Colossus, I want to say?
I believe that is the case. I tried it with Thing because I thought he could do it as well, but I'm guessing that was exclusive to 2 because I could swear that I know that I played Thing at one point and was able to swing people around like weapons, but apparently not in the first one.
It doesn't feel like Thing's style to me, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I can see, like, Colossus or Luke Cage getting pissed, and of course it's absolutely Hulk style. Thing's too refined, you know?
Yeah. The gentleman's bruiser.
Like, when I think of Thing fighting, it's always put up your dukes, you know?
Yeah.
Oh man, at some point they got to give. How has there not been yet a Marvel vs. Capcom game that had Thing so we could have Thing and Hulk fight in the Marvel vs. Capcom games?
That is a good question. I imagine that back in the days it was a matter of nobody wanted to do pixel art of the Thing because he's yeah, that's more trouble than it's worth probably. But nowadays I'm not sure. Well, I guess it's because they aren't making any more Marvel vs. Capcom games. But if they were, I don't think there'd be any good excuse not to include the Thing.
Well, in 3 they thought they could double up and get all 4 Fantastic Four members in by just putting in Super Scroll,
Right, that's true.
which is not entirely wrong, but it's certainly pretty far from right.
Yep.
And I love Super Scroll. He's a great villain. I love Super Scroll. He's a cool dude. He was one of the better parts of Annihilation.
Yeah.
Either which way, what else you been up to?
What else have I been up to? Let's see.
Oh, I guess we better get the rest of the channel stuff.
Oh
out of
yeah,
the way
yeah.
first.
The rest of the channel. So that was basically it on my end. There's gonna be the Fallout 3 continuing to roll out slowly because I'm very slow at editing that stuff down. There's gonna be plenty of Marvel Ultimate Alliance coming out, and there might be some more Rainbow Six stuff coming out as well because I did some quick matches of that just to really test out the Elgato. So I might have some of that still in the reserve bank. I don't know. I'll have to double check. But if there isn't any of that coming out from a previous recording, There might be some recordings that I do this week and get uploaded just for funsies. And that
Yeah,
should wrap up things on my end.
I'm going to go ahead and bring up the group channel just so I can take a look at it and see what's coming out this week.
Sounds
Oh,
good.
excuse me. Hmm. Okay, so yeah, on my own channel, just to hit that real quick, there will be something coming out at some point. I will, of course, be having fun for a couple days after Christmas, enjoying the things I got for Christmas.
Oh yeah.
But I do intend to put out a video on my channel just to say, hey, I'm not dead and I'm planning things.
Nice.
The Give me just a second. The thing is that we are also probably after Christmas that I think there's going to be a bit of a rush to like try and get me into another college around here, so that's probably also going to start taking up a bit of my time. But I don't intend for it to take up too much.
Okay.
As for the FOS channel, it looks like in the next coming week, let me see. So, okay, we got everything up to the 31st. Well, as of right now, let's see. I'm actually having to try and fiddle. This is the first time I'm using the YouTube app on my phone to try and do this rather than because this is a new computer, I don't have the login to the channel.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And I'm trying to figure out how it is because everything's arranged in a very weird way. Okay, looking at things from what I can see on this app, tomorrow we've got on top of this podcast coming out the Christmas special in Contra. And that, or Chemus, as Addie put it,
Keemus,
apparently.
yeah.
And well, of course, you know that because it's coming out on the same day this is. But, anyways, the other things that are coming out over the week are on the 26th, Monday, Persona 5, Part 16. Holy Jesus, you boys are in for the long haul on that, ain't you?
Oh yeah, we're gonna have like 1,000 parts before we get that done.
Oh my God. Well, it's an actual, honest to God, 100-hour game. Let's see. Well, no, it's actually about 140 was how long it took me to beat Persona 5 for the first time, which admittedly Addie's going to be faster than me because he's played through the game. This is probably a second time or third time through the game, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
December 27th, the following day, Tuesday, is going to be Rainbow Six Siege. Talk about a
Uh-huh.
blast from the past right there.
Oh yeah. That's prime 2018 content right there.
And December 30th, Friday, New Year's Eve, it's going to be Katamari Damacy Part 10.
Very nice.
So is that your first time really getting to see the Katamari series?
Yes, I had never heard of it up until we started recording it.
Really? Because I'd always, long before I had ever actually played any of them, always heard of it as one of the iconic, goofy, weird Japanese game series that the West doesn't understand. So, you know?
Nope. I've never heard of it in my circles, so yeah. And I don't typically go looking for weird, goofy Japanese games. That's not really a genre that I'm really all ears on. So yeah, I've just never heard of it, or had never heard of it before we started recording. So my first delve into the world of the wacky Japanese series probably won't be the last.
No, probably not. As long as you're running a channel that, no, it won't. Yeah, Katamari's a funny one. Like, it is definitely just one of those weirdo Japanese series. But, like, I think of myself as the kind of person who doesn't really get involved with the weirdo Japanese series. And usually, whenever some kind of anime type thing gets brought up, I turn my nose up at it.
Right.
But Katamari is such a unique and really fun game style that I've always been a big fan of it. I've only ever finished Damacy, but I do still have a copy of We Heart Katamari here, which I should get around to doing at some point. But the backlog grows and grows.
Oh, that is true.
Oh Lord! Speaking of backlog, Pink, what you been up to the past week?
What have I been up to the past week? That is an excellent question, and I don't believe it's a question that I can answer without delving into the standard affair. I obviously played Marvel Ultimate Alliance. We already discussed that.
Yes.
Got to try out many of the many new DLC characters because I hadn't really touched up on most of them. So from the villain side of things, I played as Venom and Sabretooth for I want to say the very first time. And
Oh, what? I forgot that Sabretooth's the fourth villain in the villain DLC.
Yep.
Magneto, Venom, Doctor Doom, and Sabretooth.
Yep. And
That is so 2000s.
yeah.
Oh my god.
This game came right after the company put out X-Men Legends 2 a couple years prior.
Oh,
so
you're
I
right.
believe
Asset
that
recycling.
Yep, I believe that Sabretooth was just a basic asset recycle there.
Yeah.
All the gameplay elements are the same from the previous game, I want to say. Plays very similar to Wolverine. In fact, I think most of his moves are just the same animations, just with some slight retexturing. So, nothing too unique there. Venom was really fun. He's got a
Always.
wide variety of fun moves, so that was pleasant. And got the classic tendril suckage. So if you played the Ultimate Spider-Man on GameCube or whatnot, and
Yes.
Venom is able to like absorb people, he's got a lot of
Yes, I
those
remember
type of
that.
abilities in the Ultimate Alliance as well, and it's really fun to use.
Not only can he
Unfortunately,
do that, but the first person that you eat as Venom in Ultimate Spider-Man is the balloon boy from Spider-Man 2.
yeah. What a classic.
It's a funny thing. 616 Venom, I hate that he eats people now. I think it's terrible. I think it makes Eddie Brock a much less sympathetic and interesting and cool character, and it makes Venom just so much more of a generic monster.
Yeah,
Ultimate Venom, though, I'm cool. He just eats people. He's just like that.
that's just what he do.
Yeah, Ultimate Venom isn't supposed to be sympathetic or likable. He's just a fucked up monster.
This is true. Not even a symbiote, so this costume really shouldn't have any personality, I don't think.
No. Hey, Ultimate Carnage is even worse. It doesn't even have a host.
Ultimate Carnage.
It just gives Gwen the suck, and
Yeah.
it becomes Gwen.
Something like that.
That's around the time I started to really fall off in how much like Ultimate Spider-Man I know. When it's like that's going on, Kitty Pryde is still hanging around with Spider-Man instead of the X-Men, but we're all fine with it because the Ultimate X-Men suck.
Yeah. Man, what a timeline that was.
Oh boy, like I know that there's a lot of love for Ultimate Spider-Man. There's a lot I respect about. And
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of love for the other Ultimate storylines with a lot of folks around here. But to me, like, the Ultimate storylines really look a lot increasingly like they kind of hot-shotted and killed Marvel, or at least a lot of this Marvel stuff that I love, you know?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I thought a lot of the earlier issues of Ultimate Spider-Man were some of the best Spider-Man they had put out up until that point. But past a certain point, I would say around 2004, maybe? Which, I mean, that's a 4-year run, mind you, because Ultimate Spider-Man started in 2000, the turn of the millennium. But after that 4-year
When did Wolverine become a pervert in the bushes?
Yeah. Oh, God, that was 2007, maybe?
When did Nightcrawler become a raging homophobe?
Oh, that was actually pretty early on, if I'm not mistaken. They did not treat Nightcrawler with like any respect. I'm gonna get a Google up the Ultimates 2.
When did Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch start banging?
That was the same one where no, that was implied super early on.
I know Wolverine was spying on them, but
Yeah, that was the same Ultimates run there. Ultimates 3, I want to say. So let's Google that and see if we get not Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom. That's not what I want to see. Yeah, Ultimates 3, 2007 through 2008. So yeah, I'd comfortably say that the 2005, 6, 7 era of Ultimate Marvel is when it really took a steep nosedive in quality. And I honestly don't think a lot of the Ultimate storylines to begin with were all that good. I
Yeah.
liked the first Ultimates run. It was fun. It was unique, but it was nothing I'd really go back to as like, oh, this is so good and super underrated nowadays. But
The only thing I can think of the Ultimate storyline that I look back on fondly is Cap whooping Hank's ass.
right, yeah. But
Tony, I was fine with Ultimate Tony.
that is true. Ultimate Tony was like super downplayed, so there wasn't a lot that he could do wrong.
Ultimate Tony kind of felt more like, since there was more of a set time limit instead of just the ambiguous, like, oh, the metal in the heart, it felt more like Ultimate Tony really felt like he was a fire that was burning out rapidly and was trying to burn as hard as he could for the time that he had.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, I get that.
Which makes Tony being a dickhead a lot more reasonable.
Yeah.
Even though Ultimate Tony was nicer than 616 Tony, but go figure.
That's just how it went. Yeah, the first couple Ultimates, the first two Ultimates run, is that plural? I don't know. Ignore that. Those first two miniseries were fun. I didn't love them, but they were fun. Fun enough that I didn't hate them. I did not like good? Ultimate X-Men from Jump.
You know what was also good?
What was good?
Thor showing up and saying, I'm Thor, Norse god of thunder, and everyone going, sure you are, pal. And then eventually they're like, oh shit, it's real!
Yeah!
He's not crazy!
He's not completely insane. Is this a good thing? We don't know.
Like, that's always one of those things. I mean, inevitably, early Marvel stuff was handled by Stan Lee, just trying to get shit out in print.
Yeah.
So they couldn't really get deep into it. But that's one of those things that Marvel always has to deal with, and DC has to deal with, is the confirmation that the Norse pantheon should be world-shaking for 90% of the world's populace.
Yeah. That is
like,
true.
This changes the way everyone has to look at religion. But it really doesn't.
Yeah, not really. People just keep going on about their day like nothing strange is going on here. Don't even question it.
Like, in both comics, God is real. Guaranteed 100% real, undeniably. Fucking Reed Richards has met him.
Yeah.
Like,
that just makes all the other, like, religious superheroes that much stranger.
Yeah. I mean, in DC, it's like...
Do all the Marvel religions lead straight to Jack Kirby, or what?
DC, I think, at some point tried to actually put a hierarchy to things. Where... Oh, what was it? Because with DC, they also couldn't figure out where Sandman fit into it.
Yeah.
Because he really fucks with things.
Yeah, that is for certain.
And how can there be atheists in DC when, like, John Constantine, who is a poor, like, dude struggling to make rent in a flat, coming from generations and generations of impoverished English family, can totally just summon a demon or an angel anytime he wants? Like, does that not confirm shit for some people?
That's a good question.
It'll never get worse than that one comic where Reed said he was an atheist. And it's like, dude, you've literally met God.
You met God! How can you say that? At this point, it takes more faith for you not to believe in God. You shook his hand!
Oh, that's good. That's good. Like, even Reed's arrogance has to have a level where it stops.
One would think.
Oh man, come to think of it, how could... If Reed told the rest of the Fantastic Four, how do you think it'd be if Reed went up and met God, and he comes back and he tells Ben that God's Jewish? Ben just pumps his fist in the air. Yeah! I told
Fist
you!
bump.
Oh! The boys on Yancey Street are gonna love this.
That's awesome.
All right. What else you been doing?
What else have I been doing? Let's see. Um, there was something we watched the other day. So I watched a Christmas movie that's not really a Christmas movie, but kind of is, kind of really isn't at all.
Thank God Mike isn't here because I could tell you what he'd say in response to that.
But there's this stupidly funny, and by stupidly funny, I don't mean it's like super hilarious. I mean it's kind of stupid, but it's funny. There's a film titled Better Off Dead, and we were watching that last night. And the plot of that is, and I might have told you about this once or twice, but the plot of it is, you got John Cusack, and he's playing a teenager who is obsessed with his girlfriend. And at the start of the film, his girlfriend dumps him. And so now he's lost all will to live, and things go off the rails completely. And it's kind of a story of him having to learn that his life doesn't revolve around the person he was obsessed with, and that he needs to become his own person in a way.
Yeah.
And it's a stupid film, but it's funny. And I enjoy the completely oddball whack job humor that they pull in it. So the only reason it kind of sort of qualifies as a Christmas film is because about halfway through, it takes place around Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and leads up into kind of just right before the New Year when it ends. So not really a Christmas movie by any account, because that aspect of the film doesn't really matter, but it sort of qualifies because it is in that wintry time.
Yeah.
And I did not get to see it fully, but the family watched Violent Night the other day. I believe that was 1 or 2 days ago, which was that new kind of die-hardy Christmas film, Home Alone, with the actor from
I heard
Stranger Things.
I heard the only thing I've heard about it is that there is a scene in the middle that is Home Alone but realistic.
Ah.
Or rather, the traps still aren't realistic. It's still Kevin McAllister's engineer genius.
Yeah,
Kevin McAllister with enough preparation time can beat the Predator kind of stuff. But, like, you know, when Mo gets hit in the face with a paint can and sent flying down the stairs, rather than just going, "Oh, don't me, I'm gonna go back up the stairs," he instead gets a concussion and breaks his neck and then just fucking dies.
Yep.
At which point I have to imagine, considering the quantity of traps in Home Alone, would the Sticky Bandits have to be a team of, like, 12 instead of 2?
Yeah. So, in the film, I want to say there's...
And also, would there not be a thing of, like, okay, the first guy goes up to the door and gets fucking electrocuted to death. The next guy goes up and
simply turn around?
Yeah, and the next guy goes up and a blowtorch comes out and roasts him to death. Does the other 10 just go, "Oh, fuck this"? Holy shit, they killed James!
He's freaking dead!
Those fuckers.
Who would do this on Christmas?
Get the guns, this demands a blood feud.
But yeah, I didn't get to see it the whole way, and I didn't get to see most of it at all. I was mostly in the other room with Bowie, because he's a puppy.
Yeah.
So, but what I got to see and what I got to hear was entertaining enough. So, I heard everybody else laughing in the room over, so I assume it was good. Oh. And, they were having a Christmas movie marathon, yesterday, my family. And I don't recall all what they watched, but I know that there was stuff going on, so... know that Christmas movies were watched. I might have seen a scene or two, But yeah, I never really stuck around to see them the whole way because I've seen these movies plenty of times, so I just had more things I need to get done, more
So
puppies that I need to take care of.
what's the worst Home Alone scene to do realistic?
Which one?
The one from Home Alone 2, the bricks on top of the building.
Oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
Kevin McAllister. Yeah, if that were realistic, he would have ended their little feud. Lickety split right there.
Like all the rest of the gags I saw as a kid, and I was like, haha, yeah, that's funny. That one, even as a kid, I was like, no.
Yeah,
No, Kevin.
Kevin, no, you've killed them. They might have
Like
had families.
somebody the next day it's New York City. Somebody's gonna be walking down to the day after Christmas. They're gonna walk with some pep in their step, and they're just gonna see two burglars with caved in skulls on the sidewalk and go, "What the fuck?" The incredible thing is that the second one saw it happen and then just stood there anyway.
That is true.
If he gets Joe Pesci first, though, it'll be fine. The other one's stupid enough to justify it.
Oh, those movies. What an absolute joy.
Oh, I probably haven't seen either of those since I was a little kid.
Oh, really? Because
Yeah.
I saw the second one like it was probably maybe a week ago, maybe less. I don't know. Maybe that was.
Boy, that Donald Trump cameo is funnier now, ain't it?
That I'd never understood that Trump cameo until like the year he got elected president. I was like, oh wait, that's the guy from Home Alone too. That's a good movie.
Yeah.
I don't
That's what you
know
gotta like,
why. Because I've known Donald Trump like obviously kind of almost my whole life. He's been around for a substantial amount of time. But somehow, despite seeing that movie almost yearly for not the second one, despite seeing the second film for a pretty substantial amount of time between the ages of I'd say 8 through 13 maybe. I just never put two and two together. I never realized that was that Donald Trump guy, so funny how that works.
Yeah. Why would they put the host of WrestleMania 9 in Home Alone 2?
Right? I mean,
Why would they put Vince McMahon's nemesis?
right? Friggin' love Umaga. Can't believe he lost that match. Then Bobby Lashley left like 2 months later. It was messed up, man.
Didn't both of them leave very shortly after that match?
No. Umago's under contract for another year or so, and then he got let go. But I'm pretty sure Lashley was out the door almost immediately after, ironically enough.
Yeah. Off to a mediocre MMA career.
Yep. That's just how it be sometimes.
Like, dude, go back in time to 2010 and tell somebody in that time, okay, in the year 2021, there are going to be main events. You know who's going to hold the WWE Championship in late 2020, early 2021? Bill Goldberg, Bobby Lashley, and Brock Lesnar. Say that to someone in 2010.
Yeah, that would be unheard of.
Like, any of those three names would be, well, maybe not so much Lashley, but you say Lesnar or Goldberg, that would be taken as so absurd. It's like I should slap you for lying to me. But all three together.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, of course, the funny thing always has been was them putting Lashley against Goldberg just because for the longest time people always called Lashley Black Goldberg.
Yeah.
If Ryback, Goldberg, and Bobby Lashley are in the ring at the same time, what happens?
Now that is an excellent question. I think the space-time continuum would just implode.
I like to think that either that Goldberg and Ryback would successfully kill each other with botches, and Lashley would witness it. And he just get that awkward face he gets every time.
Yeah,
focuses on him.
Yeah.
Lashley looks like that damn. Who's the stock picture, old dude in the stock pictures who has like the coffee mug and he's always making the most awkward faces?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Lashley looks like him all the time.
you're not wrong there.
Like Lashley just looks at the camera like he's pleading to go to leave. Like, am I done now? Can you let my family free now?
They're being held hostage.
No, damn it, another Dominator.
Vince, please have a heart. This is inhumane.
More spears.
More spears.
Reminds me of that gif people made of Vince shouting at Chris Benoit to do another headbutt.
Yeah,
right? That
yeah. Oh, that gif is messed up. Why is it so funny?
Oh, it's terrible.
Oh man.
I mean, it's just wrong, but with Vince having the personality he does, at least on screen, it's funny to imagine him just streaking into the microphone at the wrestlers. Do more shit.
Yeah. The wrestlers obviously have headpieces in their ears. Or earpieces.
That or the referees have to convey it with the same tone. So you have Little Nate in the corner.
Charles Robinson, doing the Vince McMahon growl.
He says, do more shit. Tony Khan trying to communicate through Aubrey Edwards, but she's like doing it through fucking song and dance routines.
And hugs.
Yeah. Oh my god, I saw a collection the other day of Tony Khan hugging people. And it's funny, like, there's a few of them that, they go in for the full hug and it's the whole deal. Mostly the chicks. And then I saw a clip of him hugging Kazuchika Okada. And Okada probably don't even speak English, right?
I'm not sure Okada would know what a hug is.
Like, Okada, honestly, completely no-sells the hug, except for a very awkward look on his face, but he just stands there while Tony goes in for this big side hug, wrapping his arms around him. I can't get over the fact that he's fucking 40. I've said that before. I didn't find out he was 40 until, a couple weeks ago. This whole time I thought he was our age.
Tony Khan?
Yeah, this whole time I thought Tony Khan was our age.
Well, that blows my mind, because I didn't realize he was 40 either. What the heck, man? Oh,
I thought he was our age, and I was like, okay, well, it's pretty immature to act like that at your age or my age, but maybe he'll, stiffen up a little bit when he's 30. No, he's fucking 40!
Like twice our age.
Like, dude. I mean, holy shit, I guess that falls as much on Mr. Khan's shoulders, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, probably.
At some point, the baby has to go off the teat. It just has to be said.
Speaking of, my favorite Tony Khan hug of all time was with, it was either Dash Wilder or, what was his name? I forget, but one of the two Revival guys, Tony Khan goes in for a hug, and he's plants his face firmly in between the boobies of Dash Wilder, I'm pretty sure. And he's motorboating one member of the Revival. What is he doing? I don't get it.
I'm so used to Dax saying shit on Twitter that I imagine him having a Ron Swanson-esque attitude. So I was almost imagining he goes for the hug on Dax, and Dax just European uppercuts him.
I would have paid good money to see that.
Oh my god, could you imagine how over he would have got? I mean, not with the smarks, but,
Yeah.
Ugh. Oh, that's good shit.
Absolutely.
I worry that one day he's going to have to go for a hug on Jericho, and Jericho will give him tongue.
If he's drunk enough, yeah.
Yeah.
There are many anecdotes of Drunkicho in his autobiographies.
Well, I mean, based off the shit that always seems to be coming out of the backstage of AEW.
Oh man, what a lovely mess.
If you had to hug the Bucks, though, the Bucks would expect him to give a tongue.
That's
Anyways,
true.
anyways, who? What else you been up to?
What else have I been up to? Honestly, not a lot. I think that about wraps me up. It was just the same standard affair: Rainbow Six, Dead by Daylight, Civilization, etc. Watched Christmas movies, wrapped Christmas presents, except I didn't because all my presents were digital. So, well, actually, no, I've got something that I have yet to wrap. Oops. Good thing I remembered. Um, yeah, that's about everything on my end.
Oh, excuse me. It's a good thing you said digital presents. That reminds me there's one thing I want to sneak in for somebody.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
I
I
already got
actually,
them their present, but I'm going to get them this too.
yeah, nice. I got my little brother Hades the other day.
Ooh.
He knows because I had to get it on his Switch, and I thought the sale was ending on the 18th because that's what the little blog I read said. Apparently not. It was going for like 10 extra days after that, but I was like, no, I'm already committed. Give me your Switch. I'm buying you this. Don't open it till Christmas. So that's how that went. My Christmas presents are more like
Christmas.
yeah, my Christmas presents are like intense negotiations more so than anything else.
Yeah. As they should be.
Most wonderful time of the year. Yeah, I think I'm good to pass the baton off to you. What did you do this week?
Well, I put in a fair bit of time with the Avengers game because there's big XP weekends and things going on. I can't explain it, why I keep playing that game, other than just that there is nothing else that does what it does, even though it does it poorly.
Understandable.
I used to once upon a time have a Marvel game that I would love to log in every day and play for just a little bit and level up various Marvel heroes. It was called Marvel Heroes. Unfortunately, the game has been killed dead.
They murdered it.
Sigh. Apparently my phone is blowing up. Good timing.
Nice.
Okay, there we go. I cleared that up. All right. So, yes. And there's also not really any Marvel, Devil May Cry, Bayonetta type, beat 'em up type games out there either.
This is true, and it's just wrong.
There's Spider-Man PS4, but you can only play Spider-Man. So, either which way, getting enough into that game, I found that the RPG system actually it's part RPG, but the RPG stuff feels like it doesn't matter at all. It's the first 100 levels of a character.
Oh.
It's only one. Well, it's only once you get past level 100 you start to pick up epic items that actually change how your character plays. And even then, you don't care about the numbers. Now, because this is a RPG that's kind of starting to more and more go on a skeleton crew, and on top of that was not super well thought about to begin with,
No.
Bucky dropped at the beginning of the month.
Oh.
I very quickly put in a lot of levels with him because the week that he released, it was a double XP week for him to encourage everybody to play him.
Nice.
So I got him up to level 100. He was actually the first one I got up to above level 100. And I took a bunch of perks that he has in his skill tree that are, okay, Bucky's machine gun does more damage. It does more stun. It does more poise damage, meaning it's more likely to interrupt enemy attack animations.
Oh.
It has a bigger clip. It's more accurate, and it goes on. And then I picked up items that also boosted all those things. And so now I have got the game where it's completely fucking broken.
Excellent.
Because there are all these characters who have intricate, combo routes they can go down and meters to manage and all this and that and another. Alternatively, I can pick Bucky. I can get a machine gun. I can shoot motherfuckers in the face. And because I've stacked so many of those things on, even if I'm going against Abomination, a guy who is strong enough to throw down with the Hulk, I can just shoot him in the chest, and he can't do anything. I just stun lock him to death.
Nice.
And the thing is, because it's like I've got it set up where it fires at double the rate, and it's a machine gun, so it's double speed machine gun. All of those bullets interrupt anything Abomination does and stun him. So Abomination, whenever I shoot at him, very rapidly goes through every stun animation he has in his animation library in under a second. So when I kill the Abomination, he gets a bad case of the jitters. It's great.
Indeed.
So now I'm starting to put time in with the others, and you can tell a game's dying when it used to have a battle pass for each individual character, and then they give it away for free.
Oof.
Hey, y'all.
Hey!
Hey! So, we're actually just going through my week.
All right.
So, either which way. Yeah, Avengers. Let's see. What else did I put time into? Let's see. I put some time into... Right, I played Darktide because it's on Game Pass. I played it with Soon. So, Darktide is a little bit like Vermintide, a little bit not. You make custom characters instead of picking predefined ones, and the character creation system is surprisingly in-depth. Now, we're not talking WWE levels of visual customization, but there's more than you'd expect. But on top of that, it's not just making the visuals. You go through like a Dragon Age Origins-esque thing of like, where did you come from? What's your job? What's the thing that changed your life? Why are you in prison? And this whole system there that apparently dictates your character's voice and their dialogue lines.
Why
It's
were you in
wild.
prison?
Well, let's see. For the first character I made, he went to prison because he got in trouble for questioning where the church's funds were going.
Ah, understandable.
And the second guy got sent to prison for just casually remarking on how nasty they thought a habit of the local priests was.
Ah.
In case you forgot, this is Warhammer 40,000. So, the two classes I got to play... Oh, I actually only played one in detail, actually, come to think of it. Because I played a few missions as the veteran, who is pretty well default soldier man. And I went to start a match as the priest type. But as soon as the level started, the game crashed. And I was like, actually, you know what? I'm just going to wait like a few months after this game's had some updates to work out the bugs and kinks. Because boy, are there some bugs and kinks.
Oh, man.
And it's $40. I'll just buy it at some point. Just so I don't have to worry about keeping up a Game Pass subscription to play it.
Yeah.
Or transferring save data or any of that shit.
Yeah.
Either which way, the things I noticed, for one thing, starting weapons for the veteran suck. You get a shovel, does a little bit of damage, it's very slow. You get a laser rifle, does a little bit of damage, it's pretty slow. I near immediately replaced both of them with the first weapons I got and had an entirely different experience. Because you can trade out that shovel for a combat knife, super quick, does good damage, and your character does cool knife tricks where they spin it around in their hands. It's awesome. And it has a secondary fire where you just punch people in the face. It is very funny. Very funny in a game about sci-fi warfare and cosmic horrors to be a regular dude holding a knife and then run up to people's faces and don't even use the knife. Just keep socking them in the jaw until they die.
Very nice.
I also got a better gun. However, the one thing I want to get in before moving on, because I don't think I've got that much to say, it's a very pretty game, by the way. It's got a very nice new little feature. I don't know if it's exclusive to my graphics card. That seems to... It does something that just makes it implies something like it adjusts graphics settings on the go to try and maintain a good frame rate. Either which way, it works. Whatever it does. I was able to maintain a very solid 60 frames per second, or about, it felt like to me. The thing I want to say about the game, though, is because it's not a character-based system, it's a class-based system. You make your custom dude, of any of the 4 class types, which are Veteran, Priest, Psyker, and Oghren, and then you jump into a game. Vermintide, you had 5 characters you could pick from. which were, of course, they each had 4 character subtypes between them. But, you had the dwarf and the elf and the human soldier and the witch hunter and the wizard and the whole deal. And they were mutually exclusive. If someone else was already playing the dwarf, you couldn't play the dwarf. If someone else was already playing the elf, you couldn't play the elf. Vermintide, not the case. Which means that you are not hopping into games with diverse crews. You are 90% of the time, most of the overwhelming majority of the player base of Darktide is playing the veteran class. The overwhelming majority. I saw one priest in the 4 matches that I played, and people were hopping out and hopping in all the time because it's online people. People are losing connection or just rage quitting.
Right.
Especially, if one person runs off or one guy runs off and then the rest of the team doesn't catch up because that guy just ran off without them, then he of course gets himself killed and then he rage quits. You get the deal. It's Left 4 Dead type game.
Yeah.
This shit happens.
Yeah.
I saw one priest. I saw 0 psychers. I saw 2 Ogrins, and one of them doesn't count because it was soon. He's my friend. That's not a fair experiment group.
Yeah.
So if you're hopping onto Darktide hoping you can just hop into public lobbies and have fair balanced teams, no. Which is a different problem from what Vermintide has, because Vermintide has where it's like, I really want to play Warrior Priest Saltspire today. Oh no, so did everyone else. I don't get to. But Vermintide, by now, everyone's got enough classes that probably everyone's got a class they appreciate on each of the 5 characters. So it works out. Darktide, I don't know. Plus, I feel like they gotta at some point introduce a rattling, just because it's fun. Anyways, yeah, Darktide, and the other game I played this week that I think is really worth talking about is I put time into Gladius. So, Pink, how much time did you put in with Gladius?
I honestly did not put a lot of time into Gladius. I can check my Steam real quick because it'll tell me the exact amount of time, but I think it was under 30 minutes. Because I played... Ooh. Yeah, I only played a handful of turns before I stepped away and then just never got back into the groove of it. Let's see. Gladius. Yep, just under 30 minutes.
Okay, because I was going to ask, well, I started 2 games as the Imperial Guard and I got my ass kicked both times. What am I doing wrong? And I was like, oh.
Well, I could not help you there.
Well.
You need more rats.
This is a possibility.
There were rats in 40K in the 80s. But I guess they wanted to keep fantasy and 40K a little more distinctive from each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, Gladius, it is still a very fun Civilization-style game. I have not yet figured out what is the best way to do things, what are even vaguely the metas. Steam guides are not any help. I have not yet looked up on YouTube for help. But yeah, I thought I was doing pretty well both times, actually. And then oh hey, Necrons. Oh, that's a lot of Necrons. Ooh, that's a lot of flying death barges.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my first game. I was playing very aggressively, expansively, and in the end, I overextended and couldn't hold the territory I built, and I was spending so much money on maintaining the territory I made that I couldn't afford to actually run a military. Whoops. Because Gladius, that's a serious consideration. It's not like Civ, where Civ is just like, LOL, more cities equals more money, nerd. Gladius, no. Every tile every pop you get in Gladius takes up half of food. Every tile you own, expanding districts onto, building cities, and so on, takes up a influence. Every city you found takes away 6 loyalty from all other cities.
Oh.
Every pop you get, or every 2 pops you get, takes away a loyalty point. You have to be on top of that shit. That is a game. That is like if Civ was more so about putting out fires all the time. Which is fun, but it's something you have to get used to managing properly, or else you will get fucked.
Right.
Overextension is a problem, and let me tell you, I learned from the next game, underextension is a problem.
Uh-oh.
Because I just built one city, and I put everything into that one city, and I did not bother to extend it all. I did not bother to go out and claim outposts or the luxury resources or the whole deal. I just focused on holding that one city. And 160 turns is like, oh, just peaceful. Everything's just, I got this nice big city. I got 4 guardsmen and I got a tank and I don't need nothing more in the world. And oh, hey, that's just 12 orc bombers just came up out of the fog of war. Shit. So yeah, I'm presumably I'm going to be quite busy coming up on the days after Christmas with the gifts and such. But I do want to at some point sit down and really crack Gladius.
Yeah.
Either which way, I believe that's the extent of what I played this week. And I did watch SmackDown last night, but there wasn't anything super noteworthy. There was a very good gauntlet match they actually had for who gets to go against Ronda Rousey. It was first it was Emma and Xia Li. Xia Li took out Emma. Then they sent in Tegan Knox, who just returned to the company a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
And she comes in and she jobs to Xia Li clean.
Yeah.
And I was just astounded because, like, holy shit, this heel who has more or less been ignored on TV for the past few months.
She
just
makes
abruptly,
cameo appearances and nothing else. How's she winning?
Just cleanly beat 2 faces. Not 1, 2. When heels are supposed to be the little bitches that can't beat 1 face cleanly.
Mm-hmm.
So that was something. Raquel comes in and beats her, but Xia Li beats on Raquel's arm for a little bit. Raquel's arm is in a cast because last week I think Shayna smashed it in the door.
Right.
Okay. Liv comes in. Liv and Raquel have a great little match for like a solid 10 minutes. And I was astounded because I've been used for a little bit to Liv and Ronda's matches where it's the shits. And I kind of had to remind myself, like, no, Liv's not straight up bad. It's just she's not good enough to carry Ronda.
Mm-hmm.
And she seems to be a very chemistry-reliant wrestler.
Yes,
right?
very.
Liv has great chemistry with Raquel. They put on a great little match there. Ordinarily, with Liv and Raquel, you'd expect Liv to be the underdog, but Raquel was here because she had the arm, and Liv would not stop focusing on the arm. They got in some great spots there. I mentioned on the Discord the spot where Liv goes for the old piggyback sleeper on Raquel, and midway through the sleeper, reaches around with her one hand and gives Raquel a noogie. And the other great spot was Raquel's against the ropes. Liv runs up to give her an oblivion. Raquel catches her, picks her up, hefts her up onto her shoulder, and what's it that she called it on NXT? Because I know they censored it now.
Chingona bomb.
Yeah, Chingona bombs her. And I know they want us to call it the Tahana bomb now, so it's not swearing, but I'm going to keep calling it the Chingona bomb. Because it is a better name. And Tahana is just kind of generic. Like, 619 is at least a little more creative because it's just the area code. But imagine if Ray just called it San Diego! Like...
He just hit the San Diego! Oh my god!
That does remind me, they had a match between Ray and,
that reminds me of the bit that Charlotte Flair's AEW name would be North Carolina.
Yeah. Ray and Angel Garza. Good little match. Ray does his best work when he's fighting other luchadors. Near always. Wouldn't you say that's the truth?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Every great match he's had since his comeback has unquestionably been against his fellow luchadors. So yeah, that is his style. And despite him being like 69 years old, he still works it well enough to get the other guys over as well.
Yes. Match starts and immediately Angel gets down on his knees and sticks out his hands for like, oh, please, Mr. Old Ray, sir, won't you give me a handshake? After having just called Ray like an old dog that needs to be retired, the whole deal, you know.
Yeah.
Ray just walks up and slaps him. There are a couple neat spots, but the only one I can immediately recall, because I want to keep this podcast rolling, was at one point, Angel got Ray down onto the second rope and shouted for the 619 and went for it, and Ray just went, nuh-uh, denied. Stopped him. Oh! Ray's got a new follow-up to the 619. He's added another one to the fucking 30 moves he does as his actual finish.
His new follow-up is just no selling the move and actually slapping the opponent's neck in the middle of the ring.
What? No selling his own 619? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Like regardless of how tired he's supposed to be or whatever, he just does a dainty jog over to the guy and just snaps their neck.
Oh, snaps their neck. I thought you said slaps their neck. I was about to say, that's Stephanie's finish. Or excuse me, that's Stacy Keebler's finish. There we go.
That is true.
Put some respect into
too.
Yeah, put some respect on the women's special slap too.
Absolutely. What a maneuver.
I also like how I fucked the name up. It's women's, but whatever.
After Ray hit the 619, he did a slingshot, not like he did. It was kind of like less panache on it, but he did the slingshot DDT like Johnny Gargano would, but with less panache on it.
Yeah.
Like it was more, Johnny spins kind of does like a 180 spin through the air as he's hitting his slingshot DDT, right?
Yeah.
Ray just rockets himself over the ropes and just happens to grab onto the guy while he's doing it. And other than that, oh god, right? No, I need to hit the Christmas special match because that was something. So every year they have a goofy comedy match at the end of the year for Christmas, the Miracle on 34th Street or whatever.
Yeah.
And every year they set out, okay, here's the prop table of like milk and cookies and the whole deal.
Yep.
First, it's Braun Strowman and Ricochet versus Kaiser and Vinci, and I want to call him Eichner every time because Vinci is such a stupid name.
But it's Italian.
Again, it's like if we had an American. It's like if we had an American wrestler who was named George Reagan.
George Lincoln.
Yeah. Either which way. Yeah, they get into the match, and immediately, like, as the guys are having their entrance, Cole starts, I have to assume that he was just doing a bit, but Cole starts yelling at the cameraman for eating the cookies.
Nice.
He yells, "The cookies are for the match, you idiot!" Match starts. They do a lot of the usual spots. Someone goes through a table, but they actually didn't. This year, no one got smacked over the head with a plate of cookies, and no one got dunked in milk. So that was a surprise.
What a
Instead,
waste.
Kaiser and Vinci went up to the entrance ramp where there were a big array of presents. And two of them are conveniently human-sized, right?
Oh, how pleasant.
So they go and open up one present, and out comes just a ballerina. And not like a wrestler dressed up as a ballerina. No, just a ballerina.
Okay.
And they start playing the fucking Nutcracker Suite.
And she does the buzzsaw kick.
Over the PA. And she just ballerina dances out. And both Kaiser and Vinci both just look like, what the fuck? And Kaiser's like, okay, let's check the other human-sized GIF and hope that it has something that actually means something. Let's go. And they go and they open that one up, and it's Xavier Woods and Kofi wearing toy soldier outfits who march out to the center of the entrance ramp, toy soldier style. And Kaiser and Vinci inexplicably do not recognize their previous opponents here and are like, would you look at that? Oh, it's like they look so real. Oh. And Xavier sticks one hand up, and Vinci's like, oh, it's a mechanical one. And he slaps the hand down. And in response, Woods then turns over mechanically and mechanically kicks Kaiser in the balls. And then Kofi proceeds to do the same to Vinci, and they mechanically march off stage. Now, immediately, this is stupid. But also looking at it, it's like, okay, I can see where Kofi and Xavier were like, okay, let's sneak into this match and get a piece of the action because we don't like those motherfuckers, right?
Right.
Why was the ballerina in there?
That is an excellent question, and one that will plague us for the rest of time.
Like, in kayfabe, we know that Triple H is now supposed to be the one who's in the gorilla position in kayfabe and in real life.
Right.
So in kayfabe, was Triple H there just like, we need to put a ballerina in the box there.
For the children.
Road Dogg, can you get... He calls him Road Dogg. He doesn't call him Brian Armstrong. He calls him Road Dogg. Dog, can you... where can we get a ballerina this time of night?
D-O-double-G, can you get Billy Gunn to put on a tutu?
Yeah.
That's a shame.
What? Oh yeah, he's with AEW. Ugh. What about Sean? No Sean? Well, what about Sean? No, not Sean. Sean.
What about 8-pack?
8-pack?
Just okay.
Yeah, sorry, no, Balor's not here for this show, Addy.
Was he? Oh. Wasn't Waltman's name both like the 8-ball and something or a pack? Okay, no, I'm
he
mixing
wore
them.
an 8-ball on a shirt for some reason.
Okay,
I never
that's
figured that out, but
yeah, that's when he was 6, which makes no sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went.
That's what I'm mixing it with.
He went from Lightning Kid to 1-2-3 Kid to X-Pac to 6, spelled SYXX.
Yeah,
because it
obviously.
just makes sense.
Yeah. Anyways. So, yeah, that was SmackDown, and that's the extent of my week, so far as I'm aware. So, Eddie, we've already hit what's coming out on everybody's channels. What's coming out on yours?
Nothing.
Excellent. So, Eddie, what you been up to the past week? Oh, God, right. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Sorry, Pink.
Well,
Yeah,
actually, this is a good time for me to step out for just a moment, because food arrived a little while ago, and I've been ignoring it in the name of the podcast, but if you got something you can talk about without me needing to be present, that would be fantastic.
Well, I have a short one that you can be a part of, and I have a long one that you can step out for.
Well, hit the long one, because I'll be a while.
All right.
So, Eddie,
well then, I finished Mass Effect.
2 or 3?
All of it. Both.
Okay. How
I finished the series. Today. Okay. I slept 15 minutes.
So do you like red, blue, or green?
Let me start off by saying my thesis statement, which is Mass Effect is the answer to the question, what if we put Fallout 3 in space?
Yeah,
I think that's yeah.
Fallout 3, before they added the stuff later on where you could just ask Fox to get in the box for you instead.
Yes.
Fallout 3, at least, like, there were no happy endings where the protagonist lived. Mass Effect 3, the problem is, the synthesis ending is probably the one that's happiest for everyone, but Shepard dies in the synthesis ending. He lives in the destroy ending.
And sometimes he lives in the destroy ending, but also the synthesis ending is either bugged in Legendary Collection or whatever Legendary Edition, or they made it so you actually have to 100% the game. I haven't found conclusive evidence of either. I saw people discussing whether or not one or the other is true. I, once again, didn't find anything. I know that I met the requirements to. I had a guide open in case just so I can, make sure that I get the stuff I want for some of the things.
You kind of have to with Mass Effect 3 because so much of it is dependent on big number, and it's like, okay, how big does the number have to be before Shepard doesn't fucking die?
Exactly. And so the guide said, all right, get 3100 power, and you will be able to access the synthesize ending. And I go, all right, cool. I go with the synthesize ending, and I had 5900 power, and I wasn't able to access the synthesize ending. Just locked out.
That is a weird issue.
I quit out of the game because I was like, the game has bugged before. Like Garrus went flying one time, but not to Garrus. Both Garrus and Rex just walked on air. one time. So
Okay, flying as in hovering. Okay, I was
Yeah.
thinking like inexplicably Garrus just like got hit by a tank or something and pew, into the sun.
he saw a harvester. He saw a harvester and then flew after it. He's a bird after all.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh no, they're getting away! Garrus,
Yeah.
stop them! Like Garrus is just like Superman flying through the air.
yeah. And
Okay.
yeah, so like I don't know if that was a bug or if that was a thing where they changed it, because once again, I've read that allegedly they changed the requirements for the synthesized ending so that you need to 100% the game, and I'm not fucking doing that.
That would be insane. But you know what? It just occurred to me that might not be a bug. You know why?
Why? Why
Because the
are
Mass
not
Effect,
taken out?
the Mass Effect 4 posters and teasers they've shown, you can very visibly see Rex and Liara.
Yes.
And on top of that, you can vaguely make out a human in an N7 suit. And the big Mass Effect 4 poster they've shown is a big field of like strewn about Geth corpses, and then one big Geth shadow, which implies Mass Effect 4 is going to just flatly assume Destroy Ending was canon, and is going to be about, okay, it sucks that we had to do this. Let's see if there's some way we can put the Geth back together for Legion's sake.
Yeah, and okay,
That's
one
gotta
thing.
be the thing with the Destroy Ending is Tali feeling shitty, like, holy shit, I worked with Legion so hard to create peace between our species, and then they all just die.
Yeah, and I was going to point it out. It genuinely bugged me that in Mass Effect 2, Legion was referred to as they, which made sense to me because they're multiple people. They're Legion.
Yeah.
That's their name. And then in Mass Effect 3, when Legion is more acquainted with them, they start referring to Legion as it, which is dehumanizing.
To be fair, there are a lot of Quarian characters in that game that are dicks towards Legion.
But it wasn't the Quarians. That's the thing. Like, if it was the Quarians, I'd just be like, all right, they're racist. But no, it was Shepard, it was Tali, it was Garrus, it was the other guest.
I can accept like Tali or Rex doing it, because Tali's still at least a little like. That's one of the things you remember last week. We talked about the whole Tali can't be Tali's automatically neutral, and I said you don't get to see Tali act like much of a renegade in Mass Effect 1, but you get to see some of that in Mass Effect 2. It's because I forgot playing through Mass Effect 2 again. I forgot Tali is like hyper racist against the Geth.
Yeah, but the weird thing is that like Tali and Garrus went through very fun character arcs for me, because Garrus was very consistent in him just being a fucking murder hobo. Like, it complemented my Shepard, who was also a murder hobo. But then Tali went through the thing through the thing of, in Mass Effect 1, she's naive and she doesn't really want to fight, but she has to save herself and her colony. In Mass Effect 2, she's a murder hobo. In Mass Effect 3, she's just fucking tired, man.
Oh yeah. By the time of Mass Effect 3, everyone's tired. They just want it to end.
Like, one of my favorite canon, or I don't know if it's not canon, the DLC stuff, but one of my favorite non DLC scenes is after you do Miranda's
I'm actually
stuff. Yeah.
By the way, I've never actually played any of the Mass Effect 2 or 3 DLCs. Just want to get that in real quick.
Okay,
I know the Citadel DLC for 3 is something I need to hit, because most people consider it the true ending of the trilogy.
It's really sad for me that I didn't follow the guide closer, because I missed out on some key scenes in that DLC by not having all of the team, and all of the team are fucking hidden. Like, a lot of the team is just like, all right, so if you go to this random ass fucking like mine colony in the middle of nowhere, it's surrounded by at least 14 Reapers. If you go there, you will meet this guy that you shared a scene with in Mass Effect 1, and he will join your party.
Yeah.
And he has a great scene in the DLC.
I've heard there's quite a lot of that. The only things I've heard a few things down the years about Citadel. I've heard Grunt goes on a drunken rampage and consumes an entire ramen shop.
That depends. Well, no, I'm mixing it up, but no, you're right. That is just a thing he does. That if you
Because in
can,
Mass Effect 2, he was like ramen, you.
yeah. Well, no, that's the thing. The ramen wasn't good. He still didn't like it, so he set a police car on fire.
Yeah. And if Ashley is alive for the Citadel DLC and you're not romancing her, she nails Vega.
I wouldn't know. Although Mass Effect 3 is the game of everyone you liked in Mass Effect 2 dead. But
Oh God. Well, that
but
depends on a lot of your choices.
that's the thing. A lot of the choices didn't fucking impact shit. The people I liked in Mass Effect 2 that I went out of my way to save in Mass Effect 2, I didn't get a choice in whether or not they lived or died.
Oh, you're talking about Morden and Thane.
Yes, my favorite characters, my favorite new characters in Mass Effect 2 were Morden, Thane, and Legion. So
Now, Morden can live, actually.
if you go the evil route, but I wanted to fix the genophage.
Yes. Which is what you gotta do. The evil route, okay, so the evil route with Reeve is like, okay, this is screwed up, but at least Morden lives. The evil route, if it's Rex, is so soul-crushing.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it was like all right.
That's like, Evil Shepard doing that in Mass Effect 3 is like fucking unforgivable.
Yeah,
like, I hope you look at the mirror and you think of Solarians every day, you little bitch.
But like that's the thing. Like I saved most of my crew. The only people who died because of me were Ashley and Edie. And Edie, I took with myself with the destroy ending because fuck it. If we're killing all of the characters I like, I might as well take her too.
Edie, that one's kind of a brutal one because it's like, oh, poor Joker finally gets a girl, and then whoops.
Whoops! Both my best friend and my girlfriend just disappeared.
Yeah.
And it's not even like it's not even like they're cheating on me because I know where they disappeared too.
Well, it's difficult to say how much. Like, maybe Mass Effect 4 will just have the complete cop out of like, LOL, we just turned Edie off and then back on again.
Yeah.
Which would be hilarious.
There's gonna be like one cluster of a server of ED left floating in the like ruins of Cerberus.
Joker's just like, I had ED backups at my house for reasons.
Yeah. Considering you did play through all of Mass Effect 3, right?
I've beaten Mass Effect 2 and 3 without the DLCs, both, yes.
Okay, yeah. There is one scene where in the Cerberus base where they reveal that after Mass Effect 2, ED sent like 5 zettabytes of porn to Cerberus.
Right, I remember that, yeah. They told Edie, okay, Edie, we need you to fuck with Cerberus. And Edie's
no, not
like,
even that.
Right,
not even that.
Servers with porn.
Not even that. Cerberus tried to override ED, so ED just responded by sending them zettabytes of porn.
Joker's personal collection.
Yes, exactly.
My God, 24K porn.
Yeah. But also, like, there's the Citadel DLCs. Oh no.
Like, I'm just imagining Cerberus, like, tech guys, just sitting there, and they're like,
why does it suddenly smell like metal?
You guys smell that? What the fuck is... Oh, boy.
But yeah.
They just start hearing over the loudspeakers, well, bang, okay? Edie was recording all of your romances.
That's the other funny part. I didn't get to romance anyone. Technically, the game soft acknowledged that I went on a date with Garrus at one point. But
the equivalent of dating Barrett in Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, pretty much. But like the game, like I don't know what triggers what dialogue for which characters, but it really felt like the writing really felt like the game was like you're taking Garrus on every fucking mission.
Yeah.
So So if you do one of Garrus's short lived missions, which is just part of the main story, I believe, then if you do the Paragon dialogue options, then after a while he's just like, "You're not gonna propose to me, are you?" If you're male.
Well, if it's female Shepherd, he's super awkward around her all the time.
Yeah.
It almost seems like Garrus just only understands violence.
Yes, that's I really liked how, oh shit, that may be spoilers. Never mind. That's technically DLC dialogue, so I won't give it away.
Yeah.
But yeah, the DLC stuff has great writing in the way that it's purposefully stinky. Like they went out of their way to flanderize the characters a lot, and it works. Like there's a I can't talk about it. Shit. Right. Never mind.
Well, I know of a good couple really goofy things. I know that in the Citadel DLC, if both Rex and Grunt are there at the party, you can have an honest-to-God conversation where you just go up to them and it's Shepard.
Yeah,
Rex,
that's exactly what I was going to say. So if you
Rex,
that only happens if you go for a mellow party, and you have a chance to switch between the two during the party. But
yes, I think I have heard of that. Yeah.
But if you do the mellow party, then they're just in the living room and you sit down, and they just repeat both Grunt and Rex saying Shepherd, and Shepherd replying with their names, and it's just like it's I want to say like 4 different turns of that, and if you sit around for long, like if you sit around after the cutscene, they just continue doing it.
Yeah. At a certain point, is it assumed to just be standard for the Krogan to do that?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I didn't
that,
realize it on my first playthrough of Mass Effect 1 10 years ago, but my god, when I finally realized the Shepard Rex thing in Mass Effect 1, playing through it again last month, I sat there for a solid minute, just making them go, Shepard, Rex, Shepard, Rex, over and over. It's just endlessly amusing.
Yeah.
Because how's it gonna look for everyone else,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, just right there in the basement of the Normandy in Mass Effect 1, Garrus is right there, and he's looking across the hall at you.
And there's another scene that I will soft spoil because it doesn't really amount to anything. It's just it's something that you can miss as well. But there's a scene. I don't know if you saw it, but in the gaming thread, I posted that my favorite part of Mass Effect 3 is when Joker says it's joking time and jokes all over Cerberus. And that's part of the Citadel DLC. Like that's not a joke. That's an actual scene.
A precognitive meme?
Well, it's not the full meme, but yes. Like I just heard him say a line, and I was like, shit. Good. But yeah, the entire writing of that, like it's the Citadel DLC is good at parts. There's parts of it that I didn't like, but it's really hammy, pretty much. The actual main plot of the DLC I didn't like as much as I did the side stuff and the character focused things. But yeah, I also go ahead.
How the fuck does Zaid act at the party?
He wasn't there. I knew him by that point. He wasn't there. I couldn't invite him.
Out of everyone out of the Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 parties, Zaid absolutely makes sense to not invite.
But Zaid, like before the party, there's a thing that you can do. You can take Zaid to play fucking UFO catcher, and he enjoys it. Like it would, since they're trying to humanize him and trying to make him not just be I am Tesco brand Deathstroke. It was some reason that he might get some fun scenes, and I feel like I remember people talking about Zaid being able to be there, but for whatever reason, I wasn't able to invite him.
That is
He's
odd,
a nerd. That's the opposite of Zaid's problem.
Yeah. But yeah, like it's like I did want to point this out again. Yeah, go
You
ahead.
know, it'd be great if Zaid's the only one you send an invite to, and Zaid just says, "No, fuck off."
Yeah, that would be good. But if anyone should do that, it's Jack. Speaking of Jack,
No, Jack.
Yeah, go ahead.
Jack loves the Mass Effect crew. She's just surly.
Speaking of Jack, I got really sad. So
Oh no! Did you?
so what happened was I got a mission where they were like, "Hey, help this academy." And I went, all right, I'll do that. And then I got sucked into the Leviathan DLC by accident. And then by the time I was able to choose another mission, they were like, "Hey, the academy got run over."
Oh no! You
so
got a special event that very few players got to see, and it sucks that you got to see that.
Yeah, like the best part is I played through the game on narrative difficulty because I don't give a fuck about the gameplay.
Yeah.
Considering the narrative device that they used at the end, it vindicated my choice because throughout the whole thing, I was like, I'm not playing the events as they happened. I'm playing the events as you would tell in a story. And then the ending was, hey, this is a story.
What?
So that vindicated my headcanon, but it was really fucking like it was sad and funny at the same time that Jack shows up at the part that she does.
Yeah.
I didn't even in the way that she does. I didn't even notice her. I just thought she was another grunt.
Yep.
Immediately shoot her in the head, dead. Just not like before Shepard even says Jack.
Yeah, you don't really realize it until after they go, oh shit.
Yeah. And that was both sad and funny. What was even worse is the audio log.
Oh, I've never, I might have heard about it, but I don't think I've ever heard it. I can't imagine it's pleasant.
The audio log is worse than her showing up.
Well, I have to imagine the whole fucking Jack character arc of Mass Effect 2 is, oh god, I'd rather fucking die than go back to Cerberus. I hate Cerberus. Oh god. And then Mass Effect 3.
I mean, I just, yeah, like I'll just spoil the fun, the quote unquote fun. The audio log is just a guy taunting Jack, and then her crying in agony because she's being tortured.
Yeah.
For like a minute.
Yeah.
So that was cool. I like that.
Like Mass Effect 2 is a lot of boy Cerberus really isn't cool, and it kind of feels like you should be offered more choices to tell Cerberus to eat shit and go die.
That's what I did. Like every chance that I got, every time someone was like, "You're with Cerberus," and I had Shepard say, "I'm not with Cerberus. I'm using them because I have to."
For money.
Yeah.
But Mass Effect 3 goes so hard on, oh my god, Cerberus is just the fucking worst.
Yeah.
Just set fire to the whole fucking facility.
Yeah.
Any prisoners that get killed will be doing them a mercy.
Yeah. And then, go ahead.
The elusive man gets it unfairly easy for everything he oversaw.
That's also very funny. So when I got to that cutscene, you know the one. I spent the game doing every side mission that I could. The only ones that I couldn't, that I didn't do, were the ones that I missed due to DLC bullshittery, like I did with Jack.
Yeah.
I didn't have 100% Paragon, even though I imported my Shepard.
Ooh.
So at the end, I had to choose one of the risky plays, and I shot him immediately. So I still got the good ending, but still. But I spent the whole game doing the fucking side missions, going, I need to get this up to 100% so I can actually do the check. And then the game is like, no. So actually you won't.
The check that really fucking matters in Mass Effect 3 is the Quarian Geth check. Which were you able to do that one?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I think you're good.
I went out of my way to do all of the missions on Renath, I think it was called, to be like, because like the way they set it up, I was like, well, if I save this guy, then he can help me with that get relay or whatever the fuck, and they will trust the Quarians will trust me more. I also punched the one of the Quarian admirals in the stomach, and I held the gun to the other while Tolly left.
Well, it's absolutely a thing of like all three of those Quarian admirals that you got to meet in Mass Effect 2. There's the one that you immediately think is like, oh, he's a cool dude because he's on Tali's side and he doesn't take the Geth's shit. And as the game, both Mass Effect 2 goes on and then you enter Mass Effect 3, the more it becomes like, oh no, that Quarian admiral is absolutely the problem. He needs to go.
Yeah.
And it's the one that you thought was a slimy fucker that's like, no, actually, he's pretty cool. He's actually super important to making sure everything goes right.
Yeah, I also really liked how two things. I really liked how the counselors lost their names. I also really liked how my choice for counselor got disregarded completely.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I get why they did it. I understand why they did it. But, like, right around it, you made the choice in the first place. You wrote yourself into the fucking corner.
There's
Just
one little
like
change they could have made that would have made the counselor change way more acceptable.
Just say Udina deposed fucking Anderson.
Just have Anderson say, well, Shepard, I'm not a politician.
Yeah. Like
it's just that
one line of dialogue. One line of dialogue. It would have made sense.
Udina is just a slimy backstabber. Of course he's the one who's going to have more success in that position.
Yeah. So like
all of the counselors are scumbags, except maybe the Turian one, and he's the one that you think's a dick throughout the first two.
Yeah.
It is funny. Correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't it entirely go Mass Effect 1 and 2, the Turian guy, just everything Shepard says is like, yeah, the Reapers. Yeah, we've dismissed that rumor. But then when Mass Effect 3 rolls around, the Turian one's the only one that's like, oh shit, Reapers!
Yeah, because he's the one like most immediately in danger.
That's true. Palaven gets wrecked like near immediately around the same time Earth does.
Yeah. I also
really gets fucked pretty hard too, though I guess that's a little bit later.
Yeah. But yeah, to go back to Mass Effect 2 a bit, I just really like. I think Morden might be my favorite, my second or third favorite crew member. Like it's probably second. I just kept Tali around for longer because she was in the first game, so it was just a thing of like I have to finish shit with Tali. Like it has to be Garrus and Tali on my side because that's what happened with Saren Saren.
Is it not funny that you're picking Tali and Garrus as your favorite party members, and then by the end of Mass Effect 3, they're banging? Like that just works out, don't it?
Yeah, it does.
Which, of course, by the way, doesn't happen if you romance either of them. But if you don't romance them, they will just bang each other instead.
That's cool. I'm fine with that.
And it's like it's the silliest thing is you walk in on them making out, and Tali's still wearing her mask.
I didn't walk in on them.
That's impressive.
But I did. Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to happen. Is you're supposed to see them for the first time. You catch them making out on the Normandy, and Garrus just makes up a lame excuse like, "Oh, I got my mandible stuck in her mask. It was weird shit, Shepard. You wouldn't believe it." Whereas Tali's just like, "I'm getting fucked."
As far like the farthest I saw in their relationship was Garrus going like, "You want some like antioxidant chocolate or whatever the fuck it was."
Oh, yeah, you just didn't see it at all. No, by the end of Mass Effect 3, Tali and Garrus, if they're neither of them are romance, they get together.
Yeah, that's fine. I wish Mass Effect 3 gave me a tally of all of the choices in all of the games, so that I could point at it and go, I played through as human Shepard, so I can hear Will Bang, okay? And I romance no one.
Well, Mass Effect 4, I almost like if Mass Effect 4 is a direct sequel to 3. It will absolutely have a equivalent to Dragon Age Keep, which you do know what Dragon Age Keep is, right?
No.
So Dragon Age Inquisition came out on PS4 and Xbox One, which means it could not import save data from Dragon Age's Origins and 2. So instead, BioWare made a website called Keep, where you went over every minute choice of Origins and Inquisition and set them all up so that you'd come in with all your proper choices going into Inquisition, to the point that Hawk, the main protagonist of Dragon Age 2, at one point is an NPC in Inquisition, and you meet him, and right before the character appears, you get a little menu that pops up that says, hey, do you want to make your own Hawk, or do you want to just go with the default classic Hawk design? So Mass Effect 4 is almost certainly going to, shortly before launch, open up a website that's like, okay, here's every single choice for Mass Effect 1 through 3, maybe even Andromeda. Go nuts.
Ah, nice.
Which is such a utility for that kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Especially because Inquisition could change in some really big ways depending on the stuff you set for Origins and 2.
But yeah, I didn't like James. He was just a Gears of War character.
He's a himbo. What's not lovable about the himbo?
I don't like himbos.
So
The only I think genuinely the only himbo I like is fucking I'm forgetting his name. Shit, the
Johnny
guy.
Bravo.
Yeah, Johnny Bravo. I was going to say the guy who's dating Velma, which is canon.
So James, one of the segments that won me over for James is there's a bit in one of the levels, I want to say it's one of the earlier ones, where it's like, okay, you need to tell one of your party members to fix this console, this like anti-air gun console or something like that, while you and the remaining party member defend them. And for 6 out of the 7 party members, you can tell them, and it's like, okay, I'll use my Omni tool. James, though, you're like, James, fix the console. James just like looks at you, scratches his head, and goes, okay, boss. He slowly walks over and just starts stomping on it. And eventually it works.
Yeah, like I'm gonna be honest. Like before I saw Tali getting shit faced, because Miranda was more because Miranda was more successfully in killing her father, I guess.
Tali starts drinking because of
because she feels like she felt like she had to live up to her father, and then it turned out that her father was an asshole.
Yeah, Tali has. Everyone on the Normandy has daddy issues, but Tali has daddy issues.
Yeah.
So if memory serves, that's actually a special thing. Part of why I'm confused. So I'm going to assume you didn't kill Caden on the Citadel.
I didn't have to because I saved the council, and because I saved Caden in Mass Effect 2. Both of them went fuck Udina, and I just shot Udina.
So I believe Ashley won't give you that privilege. I want to say Caden because he's nicer. Will just immediately.
No, but both of them do. If you pass both of the checks, then both of them do. According to the guide.
Well, I guess in my playthrough of Mass Effect 2 back in the day, I must not have tried to save Ashley. LOL. Anyways. So when that opportunity pops up, if you don't hit the quick time event to shoot Caden or Ashley, one of your party members will do it. Yeah. Any of the 6 party members you can have by that point can do it. And each of them will have a dialogue point where they bring it up. And I want to say if Tali is the one that has to kill Ashley or Caden, when she gets drunk, she will bring it up and be like, man, I didn't think Ashley was that bad, and I shot her in the fucking face. What the fuck is my life coming to?
And that's why I love Tali.
Yeah. I mean, Garrus more or less kind of handles it well. He's like, well, that sucks. I liked Ashley, but, well, shit. She made us do it. She was going to kill us.
We had a funny conversation about that with Garrus, because Garrus was there with me.
I want to say if it's Javik or James that has to shoot them, you can go to them afterwards and they'll just be like, who was that?
Nice. But yeah, like...
It's just extra funny with James, because if James doesn't kill Ashley and you didn't romance her, he'll sleep with her himself later on.
Yeah. But yeah, what was I going to say? Shit, oh yeah, I had a funny conversation about that with Garrus after the fact, because if you shoot Udina yourself, then you can still talk with whoever was there. I suppose who would have taken the shot if not you. And Garrus was the character. Garrus was always the character who had my back. I guess because of my choice order, even though I mixed it up a lot, it was always just Garrus is always at Shepard's back. If Shepard can do something, Garrus will. The way I
Yeah.
played through Mass Effect was
I mean,
very
there's a
fucking
reason
weird.
they have that entire dialogue in Mass Effect 3 by that point of there's no Shepard without Vicarian.
Yeah. And talking with Garrus, he was like, "So, pointing the gun at Caden, would have you actually shot him if it came down to it?" And I was, and my options were just yes and no. And I went, "Well,
Yeah.
I don't want to lie. I don't want to lie to Garrus." So I went, "Yes." Garrus just goes, "Well, remind me not to fuck with you."
Yeah.
I wish I had a dialogue option of Garrus, you're not Caden.
Yeah.
Because like Ashley or Caden, I would have
I
shot.
don't think BioWare wants to program in a dialogue option where you can just straight up tell the party members how you rank them.
Like I did the worst like I gave Caden the worst fate because Ashley's at least remembered. Caden, I wrote out the story.
Oh God.
Caden, I just wrote out. He's not dead. He's just not here. Ever.
Yeah. He can go have his headaches somewhere else.
Yeah, like I didn't have to put up with his headaches because I just chose not to have him as a party member. I just told him, "Yo, go help with the Crucible, but I don't have to fucking listen to you, and I don't have to speak with you anymore."
So I
You
want to
wanted-
mention
Yeah.
something just occurred to me for like getting rid of party members. Do you want it? There is one person in particular who did a big run called Shepard with No Friends or Mass Effect with No Friends. Very good video series. And by the end, there was only one party member from any of the games that survived to the very end of the trilogy. Even Shepard was dead. Who was the one party member that no matter what, he could not just find a way to kill while still keeping the series going?
I was going to say Tali, but if you side with the Get, then Tali kills herself. So, And is this character in all of the games?
No, he's only a party member in 2. And it's a he, which I just spoiled.
Zaid?
Zaid! Fucking rocks upon the eternal shore.
Yeah,
The bastard mercenary who forms no connections.
that's true.
Everyone else on the Normandy is dead, and Zaid is on a beach sipping tequila.
Nice.
Because the best way to work out Mass Effect 2 to kill as many party members as possible is to wipe out a bunch going into the suicide mission. And you have to, at least one party member has to survive with Shepard in the suicide mission. And they're able to figure out a certain way. I want to say it was Zaid and Samara were the only two that made it to the Baby Reaper. And then Samara died falling while trying to get out of the collapsing Reaper base. So it was just Shepard and Zaid that got out. Then in Mass Effect 3, Garrus and Tali were already dead. They died during the suicide mission, which is super sad, of course.
Yeah.
And then
before we move on, I just want to note to Pink that leading through the guide, if you kill these characters, you get replacements. They're just very obviously cardboard cutouts that are there to fill the void, so the game can actually run.
Some of them are, some of them aren't. Some of them are actually pretty interesting. But Garrus and Tali are already dead. The guy just straight up never woke Javik up to begin with, so he was still in ice, like Captain America.
Yeah.
Killed Ashley when they got to her. And then took James and Liara on the final mission on Earth. If your battle score is low enough, then Harbinger will kill whatever party members you have on Earth. So that killed James and Liara. And by the way, that is the only possible way in the entire series for James or Liara to die. Statistically speaking, like when BioWare did stats at the end of the series, statistically speaking, James has by far the highest survival rate of any of the party members in the Mass Effect series because it's virtually impossible to get him killed. You have to do shit on the score and also take James on the final mission. Those are both very small groups with very little overlap.
Yeah.
But he took them on there, and then he went with the destroy ending, which got Edie killed, and because he had a low score, the destroy ending didn't save Shepard, so Shepard got killed. So the entirety of the Mass Effect 1 and 3 parties got wiped out utterly, and the only survivor of the Mass Effect 2 party was fucking Zaid.
That's another sad thing that apparently I didn't have a high enough battle score to get the good version of Destroy, even though like allegedly I should have. So that's another point of confusion.
It's not really that big. All it is a very quick little CG cutscene of a N7 chest plate among the rubble on Earth that is still for a second, then you hear an inhaling and it pops up. So
okay.
Literally all it means is we won't tell you what's going on, what Shepard does after Mass Effect 3. All it tells you is that this is the only ending where Shepard lives.
Yeah.
Well, the only ending where Shepard lives and doesn't become God.
Yeah. No. In Control, he dies. Like the Star Child outright says that he dies. He just takes control of all of the like he becomes the new Legion pretty much, but for the Reapers.
He becomes God.
Yeah.
Like, which by the way, Renegade Shepard Control ending, most terrifying fucking ending possible.
Yes. you thought the Reapers were bad.
Yeah.
You thought your Reaper beat you. Get ready for this.
Like the Reapers come down to Earth, they don't shoot. They just all ask, "Where are the Batarians?"
Yeah.
Oh god, Mass Effect 4
this guy once made me lose a stat check. Nukes entire planet. Gone.
Where are the Asarian Solarian counselors?
The Solarian counselor was a lot easier to work with once I saved his life.
Oh, but yeah, a little bit. By the way, that's a very funny how that can go down with the old ninja man, Naruto man.
Oh yeah, Kai Ling.
If Thane is dead and Kirihee is dead, then no one saves the Solarian counselor. He just gets killed.
Yeah. But Thane, I did like how
Thane goes out like a hero.
Thane goes out like a hero, and also like near the end, I did all of the interrupts that I could, like regardless of alignment. I was just like, all right, this gives me more reputation. I need more reputation.
Interrupts are just always great. There are some that obviously you wouldn't want to take just because it's like shoot Ashley in the head.
No,
and it's like, well, I don't.
No, it's not shoot Ashley in the head. It's release the killer virus on this entire planet of refugees.
Yeah.
And then Ashley is in the background.
Kick the orphan into the fire. Renegade interrupt.
Set the Tibetan monks on fire. Renegade interrupt. Fuck. Anyway. So yeah, there's a renegade interrupt that Kylan gets. But if you get it, then Shepard steps him where he stepped Thane, and he goes, "This is for Thane, motherfucker." And that was great. That's the only good scene that Kylan is in.
And if it was Kirihee instead of Thane, Shepard says, "That was for Kirihee, you son of a bitch." And if it was for neither, Shepard just very limply says, "No helicopter this time, you son of a bitch."
What happened? I wonder though, what if both Kirihee and Thane live?
Then Thane takes priority over Kirihee. Kirihee just quietly survives. If the Citadel invasion happens after the Rannox, not the Rannoch, before Rannoch, but after the Genophage storyline, right?
I think so.
So here's the vital thing: the military dude you meet up with that helps you save Eve and is also like signed on with Morden as part of the whole Solarians that are pro ending the Genophage thing.
Yeah,
that's Kirihee. If Kirihee had survived Mass Effect 1.
Oh, okay.
So you actually get to see Morden and Kirihee hang out for a little bit, and it's very cool.
It was really cool though seeing Morden interact with the other Solarians. By which I obviously mean the guy going, we can't save the fucking. I'm forgetting Rex's species.
Krogan.
The Krogans, yeah. We can't save the Krogans. We can't allow this. And then zoom out to Morden already holding a gun to his head, going, "You either do it or you die."
Yeah.
like that's why Morden. Yeah, go ahead.
Like that's the fun thing about Morden being such a decisive dude is that Mass Effect 2, a lot of it is Morden kind of like, I still think the Genophage was the right idea. I just can't, and then Then in the 2-year gap between Mass Effect 2 and 3, Mort is like, I'm ending this shit. It's over. Just cocking the gun while he's assessing.
Yeah, like like I wish that the cutscene where he goes out, I wish that they didn't animate him actually flinching from the fire because he deserved that. Like he deserved the badass walk that he didn't get.
He got a pretty badass walk as it is. Morden, I think, I think had one of the most perfect arcs throughout the series. As long as you don't get him killed in the suicide mission, and boy, is it easy to get him killed in the suicide mission.
That's like I was really surprised that he didn't die. I went out of my way to save him. I sent him back with half of the Citadel because I got looked into DLC in 2 as well. Or not the Citadel, the Normandy, but still. Like,
you'll
notice.
Lose the engineers and Dr. Chakwas?
I didn't lose Dr. Chakwas because you literally can't. If everyone else dies, Dr. Chakwas lives because she's that tough.
Okay. They tried to make a Reaper out of her, but she already was.
Yeah.
Like, the collectors are just looking at her in her cell, and they're like, it's weird, this one won't go up the tube. And they just hear a noise coming out of her little cell. They hear the fucking trash can moving noise. Boom!
Yeah. No, like the reason they couldn't turn her into a Reaper is because she had to drink sherry with Shepard.
Yeah. I'm not done yet.
But yeah, that's
actually kind of sad because the engineers come back in Mass Effect 3.
Yeah, I read, but once again, like a lot of times, because I played through Mass Effect the way I played through most other RPGs, which is I have a guide open on the side. If I feel like I'm stuck or if I feel like a decision has actual weight to it, then I look at my options. But otherwise, I'll play through the game normally. And that meant that a lot of times, because this is the Legendary Edition, which comes with the DLC, a lot of times I was just like, all right, I'll do this side mission. It wasn't a side mission. All right, all of the missions that were timed lost.
Yeah.
Cool.
Like, Mass Effect 2, I'm going in with an advantage of already knowing what the DLCs are about, so I know, like, okay, wait until after you finish the suicide mission to do them. And same with Mass Effect 3, I don't intend to hit Leviathan or Citadel until after I finish the main story. Though, boy, oh fuck, for new players, I'd definitely recommend to finish Leviathan before the main story, because otherwise it makes even less sense.
I just flat out didn't do Leviathan.
Oh boy.
Like I did the first mission of Leviathan, and then I had to go and meet up with Dr. Garneau, and I went into the place. They didn't tell me where Dr. Garneau was, and I went, all right, I have better things to do, and I left.
So yeah, without Leviathan, Mass Effect 3's ending becomes even more what the fuck? Because like Leviathan explains where the Reapers come from. It explains what the Star Child's whole deal is. It explains that the Star Child is outright broken and that the ending's not really supposed to make sense, that Star Child just went AWOL. Which is a lame way of just dealing with, okay, yes, the Star Child's motivation makes no sense. We're just going to say it's an AI that's bugging out. But, Mass Effect 3 ending is so fucking bad.
Yeah, and not only that, but like, I thought that people were over exaggerating when they said, "Oh, you get the same ending but with a different color and just slightly different Fallout like seals." No.
Yeah.
Like I watched the destroy ending because that's the one I got. I watched the synthesize ending because that's the one I wanted to get. It's the same ending, just with a different tint. What the fuck?
Yeah, and it's
like the only difference between the two is that in one of them, ED was there, and in the other one, she was in heaven.
Yeah. Well, if you go with the synthesized ending, you also get to see the Quarians and Geth living in harmony, rather than the Quarians just living in the Geth skeletal fucking shell of a civilization. Yeah. Oh no, wait! They could just clean up the Geth corpses because it was a whole plot thing that the Geth were deliberately trying to maintain what the Quarians built on Rannoch.
Yes,
and the Geth kept getting weirded out by that. Yeah. Like, you hate us, but you're maintaining our architecture and our art. What the hell?
Yeah, the Geth just wanted to be recognized as people.
Yeah,
and
yeah, that's kind of like the whole thing that has to resolve it is like that. Like, it's such a hard turnaround. Okay, I know we've been talking way more about Mass Effect 3 than 2, even though I think 2 is a much more interesting game. And that's not to dunk on 3. I think 3 up until the end is a really, really good game with an awful ending.
That's
But Mass
the
Effect
thing. Like
2,
three was a really fun game, but then the focus on the side missions that they didn't put time into.
yeah.
like I don't want to stand around two random NPCs talking about shit that I don't care for, and quick save, reload, so I can listen to the next part because you cut it up into pieces. And then once I finish this 12-part discussion, then I get like an option in the Reaper terminal or whatever, the Spectre terminal. That's like, all right, so you get 2 more reputation. Cool.
Yeah. And it also doesn't help. There are several side missions in Mass Effect 3 that are built for Mass Effect 2 party members that either don't work if that party member died in the suicide mission, or a part of that mission is clearly built around the idea that you didn't do their loyalty mission, so they'll die. Because that's the thing. If you got someone's loyalty if you didn't get someone's loyalty in Mass Effect 2, but then were able to get them to survive the suicide mission anyways, virtually all of them will die in Mass Effect 3 somehow.
But that's the thing. I got everyone's loyalty, and they still died.
Jack was a time-based thing, sadly.
Yeah, Jack was a time-based thing. That's fine. I'm talking about Kane, Mordred, and Legion, which I understand all of them are plot relevant, but like fuck.
You knew there was an expiration date on Thane. You knew
yes,
that.
Thane was fine. Like Thane is the one I'm most fine with, because they even have a scene when Thane gets stabbed. That he no Thane gets stabbed. Shepard runs after Kai Lang. Thane runs after Shepard. Shepard is like, shit, Thane, are you alright? And Thane goes, dude, I was already dying.
Yeah, I was like, Thane made a deliberate choice there of, I'm choosing to die in a cooler way.
Yeah. So like
Morden,
that's
not to be mean, but Solarians only live for 40 years. Morden had an expiration date too. Like, Morden's the oldest Solarian that you can see. He's the only Solarian that is visibly wrinkled, which implies he's fucking ancient.
I mean, with Mordred and Legion, it's also a thing of like, I wanted them as team members, you know?
Like Legion is the brutal one. I think Legion goes out. Legion, I can't be mad about Legion's death, because Legion's death causes one of the best lines in the whole dialogues in the whole series, which is, does this unit have a soul?
Yes, but at the same time, like when I saw Legion drop, I was like, all right, fuck it, destroy ending. That was the second that I was like, okay, you know what? No, the Geth can die.
Legion died. Time to get rid of everything he died for.
Fuck it, Legion died. If I can go for the synthesize ending, then I might as well just remove ED2. No, if I don't get to be happy, no one does. Fuck Joker.
So no one picks the control ending, huh?
I guess not.
Even if you're going full Paragon Shepard, there is nothing about the control ending that isn't incredibly creepy.
That's the thing. Like the entire theme of the series, like a lot of other series, is control against chaos. Shepard, like the Reapers, even explicitly say Shepard's side is chaos. Shepard represents chaos. If you take the control ending, you're joining the Templars. Good job.
Well, they make it super explicit by when the Star Child is explaining your options. Shepard sees in his head Anderson picking the destroy option and Elusive Man picking the control option. And like, if that came at the end of Mass Effect 2, that could be a bit more understandable, because the Elusive Man in Mass Effect 2 seems like he may just be kind of a weird, partly cool dude.
No, he's very evil. He's very evil, regardless of when it is.
There's a little bit of excuse making in Mass Effect 2 for Elusive Man that very much goes away in Mass Effect 3.
Dude's always looked like a husk. I knew he wasn't to be trusted.
He was definitely at least somewhat creepy in 2, but 3, he's like, oh my god.
Like, I mean, the thing is, like, the difference to me, I guess, or the difference between
he's almost so bad you expect one of the husk pylons to be sitting behind his chair, sticking through the center of his chest.
Like the difference, if you ask me, between Elusive Man in 2 and 3 is in 2 he's a mob boss. and in 3, he's Lex Luthor.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that.
So like even in 2, I was like, I am not trusting this guy. This guy can go fuck himself. If the game allows me to betray him, then I will. The game didn't allow me to betray him.
You kind of can by blowing up the the collector base.
Oh, that's what I did. Yeah.
But they recover it anyways, so fuck it.
Yeah.
Which I guess Shepard probably should have thought of that.
It was also great. I followed the guy's recommendation because the guy pointed out sometimes like, hey, if you use this person in this part of the final mission, then they may get extra dialogue in Mass Effect 3 or stuff like that. Sometimes it was just like, oh, these party members have more interesting dialogue, and I'll be the judge of that. So I always took Garrus.
Yeah. So some of them are real winners. So I implied this last time we were talking about it was soon. But if you're able to, you can't do it in the game now without hacking it. But it used to be possible to take Legion on any of the recruitment missions in Mass Effect 2. Because they were originally planning Mass Effect 2 at launch that you would be able to recruit any party member at any time. It was just, they send you out on the Normandy. Okay, here's the suicide mission. Get ready for it. Right?
Yeah.
So it was possible at Mass Effect 2 at launch to get Legion immediately and then go and do Samara's mission. And Legion's still programmed to be able to do this. And you, of course, run into the Volus. The Volus comes up, bumps into you. I am a bionic god. And Legion just looks at the Volus, turns to Shepard, and then Legion shrugs with its hands out. And it's Legion, who has 10,000 robotic intelligences operating at the same time inside his head. And he is looking at the Volus and going, what the fuck?
Shepard Commander, not even my processes can understand this guy.
Shepard Commander, I fear I may need more RAM to complete this process.
Shepard Commander, I need you to download more RAM. I found some link on Extranet.
Holly's just there going, Legion, no!
Yeah. Fucking. And then in Mass Effect 3, Legion goes and downloads the experimental reprogram.
One of my favorite little dialogues, I think it's in Mass Effect 2, is it might have been in Mass Effect 3 actually, either which one, because Legion spends a bit of time on the Normandy in both games. But which game is it where you can go to Legion and him and Edie are talking and they're actually vocally talking to each other? And Shepard goes, look, hey, why are you guys just outright speaking to each other? Aren't you robots? Can't you just like convey data? And Edie just goes, yeah, we could, but you humans tend to find that really creepy, so we stopped doing that.
There are some really good scenes with Edie. I wish I didn't have to kill her. But the game forced my hand. Like there's a great love triangle in Mass Effect 3 with Trainer and Joker and Edie.
Oh, right. Trainer wants Edie. Right. It took me a second
Yeah.
to remember Trainer's lesbian. I mean, everybody who sees Edie's body in Mass Effect 3, it's like, oh.
Yeah. I mean, there is something weird that I've noticed that until Trainer, it was just like everyone on the Normandy, straight. Everyone else, gay. Super gay. Extra gay.
Liara is bisexual. Of course, she's Nasari, duh. Caden is bisexual, but doesn't. He'll flirt with male Shepard in Mass Effect 1, but that's about the extent of it. He doesn't become a romance until 3.
Caden is bisexual, but he's not worth your effort.
And Tali is implied to be a straight while sober, bi while drunk kind of girl. Because, for one thing, I want to say that I want to say there was some dialogue about her getting drunk at the Citadel party, and when she gets drunk on the Normandy, she will, like, either flirt with some of the other women on the crew, or flirt with female Shepard, or just say she's thinking certain thoughts. And when you beat Shadow Broker and you unlock the treasure trove of delightful trivia about the various party members. Did you read that shit, by the way?
Yes.
That's some good shit, ain't it?
Yeah, I forgot some of it, but I did read all I could.
So Tolly, her shadow broker keeps a collection of what she downloads and installs and uninstalls on her suit. And regardless of whether you get male Shep or female Shep, Tolly keeps, around the time Shepard dies, Tolly downloads Guide to Romance Between Humans and Quarians, installed Nerve Stim Pro 5.0, uninstalled Nerve Stim Pro 5.0, installed Nerve Stim Pro 5.0, and she uninstalls and reinstalls it like 5 times before upgrading to the new hot 6.0 one. And if you pay attention, Nerve Stim Pro is a device used for masturbating. And Tolly just keeps going back and forth on like, oh, that's wrong. I shouldn't, to my dead commanding officer, but ooh, regardless of whether Shepard's a dude or a chick.
Yeah.
And what else was it? There was one other who was. Who's Vega's friend? Help me here.
Oh yeah. Steve, I think.
Steve. Yes, Steve.
Cortez, I think, yeah.
Cortez, the one who has a bugged dialogue line on Earth.
Yeah,
where...
go ahead.
Steve! Pink, to put it in perspective, or to give you some context, Steve is a gay, not party member, but a gay NPC in Mass Effect 3 that you can romance. And there is a moment at the start of the final mission where it looks like he dies. And Shepard is supposed to have 2 different reactions depending on whether or not you romanced him. He's either supposed to go, oh shit, or just like something very gentle, but still kind of like, oh, that sucks. If he didn't romance him, but if you did romance him, Shepard goes, Steve! Well, Discord won't let me say it because I was going for too much of a yell. Steve! You get the idea.
Yeah.
Like, Shepard gives the most passionate yell possible when Shepard has had far more tame reactions to the deaths of much more close beloved characters. Because BioWare had fucked up and just made it where Shepard, no matter what, freaks out about Steve's death, regardless of whether he romanced him or even talked to him more than once.
Yeah, like 2 weeks, if even that before. Like Legion knows that, and Shepard is just like, well, we have to honor their choice.
Yeah.
Steve!
Yeah.
Con!
I mean, like, you will get that even if you, in that same playthrough, directly, by your own hand, murdered Mordin, Caden, and Rex.
Like, Shepard hates everyone, including Joker. Cortez is the only one he likes.
Yeah. By the way, I actually forgot to slip this in. So you got that thing with Jack. Do you know that you can get the same with Morinth?
No, because I killed her.
If you choose Morinth over Samara in Mass Effect 2 and then she survives the suicide mission, in Mass Effect 3, you will not hear from Morinth throughout the entire game. And then when you get to the final mission on Earth, there'll be a Banshee that comes up and attacks you that is named Morinth. And Morinth matters so little that if you kill her, Shepard doesn't even remark on it.
Nice.
By the way, is that not the biggest stupid evil or chaotic stupid choice in all of Mass Effect 2?
Yes.
I have this super reliable,
by the way,
badass
I just want to point out
Samara.
that I just want to point out Samara is Pink's character design. Just straight up.
Oh.
Like, we got Superwoman over here, like famous moral code, badass, killer of thieves and criminals everywhere. Alternatively, sex vampire.
Yeah. All right, Pink. Are you ready? Let me find. I guess this works. Yeah, at least it's an in-game model, I suppose. But yeah, to put it into perspective, this is Samara. It's in the voice text thing.
Aha.
But yeah, I looked at her. I looked at her, and I went, "Do Pink likes this character?" I don't know her, but Pink likes this character.
The neck and face instruments are interesting design choice, but all the rest of it looks great.
So the thing I want to get in real quick, Soon actually
Yeah.
mentioned this last week or the week before, but if you choose Morinth, after you do the suicide mission, she'll offer to sleep with Shepard. If you do it, you just get it. You just get a game over. And it's like, Shepard, you dumbass. I'm going in. It's gonna be worth it.
Yeah. I'm gonna make Cerberus lose so much money.
Miranda, you remember those 2 years you spent working your fingers to the bone, bringing me back from the dead? Watch me go lose it all. How would it have to be for the other people on the ship? Like one of the Marines just reports, we found Shepard's dead body stuffed into the trash compactor by Morinth. She was just trying to jam it in there.
Like the fucking the officer just does a reporting in the comms room. He just goes, "We found Commander Shepard's body. His soul has been sucked out his dick."
That's how they do it. She's just dragging it into Zaid's room, knocking shit over.
Yeah.
She just sees Zaid. Zaid makes eye contact with her. They don't even say anything. She just turns around and starts dragging Shepard the other way.
Zaid looks at her, smiles, and nods.
You know, I was thinking about doing that.
That's the plot twist of Mass Effect 4. If you make sure Zaid lives until Mass Effect 4, then he turns out that he's also not Yakshi.
Morinth is stuffing Shepard into the trash compactor, and Zaid is just saying the same 6 lines he always says every time you come in there. Oh, I should tell you, when you stick a knife under a Krogan's head plate, let me tell you, they really sing. And Morinth's just like, shut up, Zaid. Shut up. Grant looks over from the other window, and he's just like, what the fuck?
Just Legion walks into the scene. Shepard, Commander, no.
Oh god, Legion would take that super fucking hard.
Yeah.
Like, they'd have to be careful. Grunt might just eat Morinth on the spot.
Why doesn't Grunt, the biggest of the Normandy inhabitants in Mass Effect 2, just eat the others?
Rex threatens to eat a few people in Mass Effect 1. They never make it clear whether he's entirely joking.
Yeah.
Javik also, I think, threatens to eat a few people. And with him, it's a little bit more like, Javik, you're not that big, dude.
No, it's not about the... Like, he usually doesn't threaten to eat people as in, like, eat them raw. No, he's saying that he'll kill them and them also prepare them like he would, like, seafood. Especially the
TNT.
Yeah. Like, especially the Hanar. He hates the Hanar.
Which is great, because the Hanar are like, it's our god! And Javik's like, get away from me, please!
But then if you speak with him on Earth, Javik is like, maybe I'll just move to the Hanar. They'll treat me like a god.
Yeah, he's like, actually, you know what? This god thing might work out for me.
Yeah. I also fucking hated Javik. Like, I wish he had more of an arc.
I've never actually, like I said, I skipped out on Mass Effect 3 DLC, so I've never got to see too much of Javik, but I know there's some dialogue line. He constantly, throughout the whole game, is like, throw him out the airlock. Don't like this fucking guy. Throw him out the airlock. We got a problem with these Cerberus dudes, right? Why don't we just throw him out the fucking airlock? And it's a suggested situation for every issue. And isn't there a mission you can bring Javik on where someone else suggests throwing somebody out an airlock, and Javik just shouts, finally, someone who understands!
I don't know, because it took me a while to find Javik. So I may have missed my mark on that one. But I know that, like, Javik's whole character is that he's really above everyone else, which does lead to some fun like interactions, but they're too few and far in between, in my opinion. Like, I wish they gave him more of an arc in this game, instead of being like, all right, so this is how we set up Javik, and then in Mass Effect 4, Javik will actually stop being an asshole.
I don't blame Javik for being a bit stiff, considering everyone he knows and loves is dead, and has been dead for 1,000 years.
Well, he I mean, that's for 15,000, for 50,000 rather. But yeah,
Oh shit.
so yeah, a bit of a time.
Yeah.
But like there's a difference between being stiff and just be like just literally in every chance he gets, just going like unlike you stinky humans and Quarians and whoever else.
Isn't
Like
it implied at a few points that Javik's just fucking with you?
I don't know if it is. Then I didn't see those cutscenes.
Like, I want to say the Hanar thing at the very least, Javik is just fucking with you.
Oh yeah, the Hanar thing. Well, that depends. The first time you meet a Hanar, I don't know. The second time I met a Hanar, probably. Like the second time I met a Hanar was there's a
He just says it to every Hanar.
yeah.
He's gonna have a rough time on the Hanar homeworld. He's just walking down the streets of a Hanar city. You know, we used to eat you. We used to eat you. We used to eat you.
Like that was the bit. Like they got that he has a side mission where they got him to be in a vid, and he goes, I don't know what this vid is, but they said that it would help with building the crucible. So Shepard goes on, and they got him to star in a movie about Shepard. and the guy, like they rewrote
I imagine Shepard just goes, Javik, you sellout. And then distantly in the background you can hear, hello, I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite shop on the Citadel.
I wish they kept that on, because I went to every shop and put that audio in.
Oh, you have to. It's a Mass Effect tradition. There's a renegade choice there to threaten the cashier, but no one ever takes it, because it's way funnier to have every shop on the Citadel be Shepard's favorite shop on the Citadel.
Yeah. I wish they.
And to
I
put
wish
in
they kept
perspective, Pink, it says it every time you enter one of those shops.
I love it.
But yeah, so they got him to act in a movie about Shepard. They rewrote the script, so instead of Shepard, it's a Hanar that saves the galaxy, and Shepard is also there for some reason.
Blasto.
Yeah, Blasto, and they do the normal
Saren
script.
has been dead for only 4 years, and they're already making Blasto versus Saren.
Yeah, and there's a scene, or there's the scene before the council where Shepard argues with the council, but instead of Shepard arguing with the council, it's Shepard is there, so is Javik, and so is Blasto, who is Shepard, which makes no sense, but whatever.
Yeah.
So Blasto reads his lines. So do the counselors, and the counselors have been replaced by a Vorcha, a Solarian, and I don't remember who. Volus. That's the last one.
God. The Volus. Okay, the Volus is a bit absurd. The Vorcha is ridiculous.
Yeah. The Vorcha has one line and he fucks it up.
Well, of course he does.
Great.
He's a Vorcha. Like the Vorcha, like it makes sense.
I like the Vorcha because they're space star cuttings.
Oh god, absolutely. They're a little bit less crazy, but like the Vorcha, it's a little bit justified because they have a lifespan of only 20 years, so, and all of their matter can be destroyed and regenerated. So presumably they don't get much real retained neurological information. But either which way, like the Vorcha in a universe full of a variety of races that are all like very deep and intricate and interesting, the Vorcha are just orcs.
Yeah.
But slightly more tame.
Yeah.
Like, the Vorcha are almost more comparable to dogs. Now, that sounds like Ashley, but for once you'd be near right.
But yeah, so they have the scene with the Solarian counselor arguing with Blasto. And with Shepard, you can do Paragon interrupts to fucking write what's wrong with the script and try to make it actually realistic.
I need to see this mission chain.
Which then prompts the Blasto to get into an argument with Shepard, and then fucking Javik cuts in and he tells Blasto that they used to eat Hanar and how they used to eat Hanar. So then the Solarian counselor actor guy cuts in, and Jerry just looks him in the eye and goes, "We used to eat Solarians too. Your kidney is very delicious with such and such spice." And then
Javik just
that's
like
the scene.
look,
That's the scene. They cut it there.
after a certain point, you have to wonder: is Javik just hoping somebody's going to step up and put him out of his misery?
Maybe.
Oh boy,
And then amongst all of this, the Vulture guy, the Vulture counselor, goes too fast first,
yeah.
so they have to edit it out, and then he misses his prompt to actually say his one line.
I like the idea that he gets it the first time, fucks it up, then just misses the prompt entirely on the second. Like it's not that he's like still got the same problem. No, he's found a new problem
Yeah,
that he wasn't making before. That's great.
that mission was great. I wish there was more of that side of Javik in the missions and all that, because otherwise it was just stinky humans and all that, and then like very generic combat lines and also stinky humans there too sometimes. Like I didn't I would have kept Javik around longer if he was more like Morden. Morden is just like Morden is a murder hobo, but he's also a scientist, and he also inhales a lot.
Morton has principles.
Yeah,
Morton's very decisive about his principles. I think the first thing you see of Morden in the clinic is like setting Morden for the rest of the series. It's just very simply, you walk in, it's like, okay, helping with this, helping with that. And there's some thug who's like, hey, give us some of your medical supplies. And Morden just pulls out a gun, shoots him in the face, then carries on taking care of his patients.
Yeah, and that's like Morden is. I've said this before, but I will reiterate. Morden is probably my second favorite party member in all of the games. And the reason I didn't have him around longer is just because I felt like I had to do stuff with. I felt like I had to have the team of Garrus and Tali, just because they were there for the first game. They were there for a lot of the second one. They might as well be around for the third one and the ending of 2 and all that.
That's one of those things that just adds a load of replayability to the whole series, is taking the characters on missions you haven't before. Morden, I can tell you, is fun on pretty well any of the missions that involve Krogan. If you take him on the mission to recruit Grunt with the whole thing of like, oh yeah, they're making on...
I did. It was great.
Oh yeah, he gets a special, like, he doesn't just get special comments, he gets a whole unique dialogue tree just for that mission, and I don't think anyone else does.
Nice. It was also really funny when Grant has his initiation, and I took Morden and Grant on that because they had their loyalty missions on I forget the name of the planet, but whatever. But yeah, I took the two of them to do both of their loyalty missions, and when you get to the Krogan shaman, Rex, not Rex, Reeve, I think. Yeah, Reeve. Cuts in and argues with the shaman, and that's when you come in. And it just devolved into Morden and Reeve going back and forth, going, fuck you.
Oh, so you didn't take the Renegade Interrupt?
No, I did, after a while.
Because that's one of the interrupts you have to take.
Yeah, I did.
It's obligatory. I don't know what happens if you don't take the interrupt. I'm never going to learn, because I'm never going to not headbutt Reeve.
Yeah, you have to headbutt Reeve.
Yeah, it's just worth it for the combination of Shepard going, oh fuck my head, Reeve getting like wide-eyed, like what the fuck did that human just headbutt me, and the shaman going, yeah, this human's great.
Yeah,
I love this guy. Look at them.
I also like the narrative consistency that I was able to keep with the armor customization, because in 1, Shepard was, how he looks on the cover art. In 2, he looked like Iron Man in my game, because I had him have the helmet on. And then in 3, he had the he had just the normal cover art outfit on again, until I think Miranda showed up or someone else. At which point I gave him back the death mask. Because it felt appropriate that he was like, all right, I had the mask on during Cerberus. I am going to take out Cerberus with the mask on. But yeah, like I feel like I would have liked Mass Effect a lot more if I didn't play it pretty much right after Kingdom Hearts, because Kingdom Hearts was a series that I loved, and Mass Effect I liked, but it's like I really like the ambition of Mass Effect and a lot of the execution, but I also felt like the execution left a lot to be desired.
Yeah, there's definitely some places in Mass Effect. I think Mass Effect 2 is a phenomenal 9.5 out of 10, if not 10 out of 10 game. But Mass Effect 1 has some serious fucking issues, even in the Legendary Edition. And Mass Effect 3 has a really good story up until it doesn't, and it also has some goofery on the sideline.
Yeah, like if like that was one of the big things that Mass Effect 3 missed for me, is that like they have all of these returning characters. Half of all, like literally all of the ones from 2 that I like dead, but never mind that. Even disregarding that,
They are dead, but they all go out like heroes. That's always my thing, right? It's very satisfying ways for all three of them to go out.
I I guess I feel like they could have done something with Morden. Like Morden strikes me as a guy that would just hold to the gunpoint to make sure that he won't die. Like I understand why he felt like he had to, but still.
You can try. Oh boy, yeah, I gotta emphasize again. Wow, that is fucking brutal if you do take that decision there. I mean, that is just sad. Have you ever
Yeah.
seen the cutscene for if you do make that choice?
No.
So you shoot Morden, but Morden's still able to make it into the elevator and hit the button, and Shepard can't kill him. But Morden gets all the way up to the top of the tower, and he goes in, but he's bleeding heavily, and he can't. He falls over just short of the console, and it explodes, and Morden is just out of reach of stopping the genophage.
Ah. Yeah. No,
Which is so
I'm not.
much worse than if Shepard had just shot him in the head.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm not talking about shooting Morden. I have said that I like Morden strikes me as the sort of guy, considering the way they built him up in 2 and the parts of 3 that he was in up to that point. They built him up as the sort of guy who would just be like, all right, I brought a Solarium with me. If you want to comply. I'll just fucking shoot him in the leg until he does. I just set him up.
Morden, well, you also gotta keep in mind with Morden, there's one of the most important lines for him in both 2 and 3. Had to be me. Someone else might have gotten it wrong.
Yeah, and then that is the last line he says to Shepard. So.
If you let him go, if you shoot him, then I'm pretty sure his last line is Shepard, why? No, it's actually worse. I think Morden actually does figure out when you put the gun to him. Morden does figure out, you motherfucker, you sold us out. Which makes it even worse.
Yeah.
Because, like, you didn't just kill Morden and stop him from undoing his greatest mistake, you also betrayed him.
Yeah.
And not only that, you made sure he knew that his entire species betrayed him.
Yeah. Oh, I think I
Rex is
let
just
him
like,
know.
oh my god, you know?
Yeah. Oh no, I didn't let him know. I tried to let him know that his entire race betrayed him, but then the game decided no.
And you want to know what also adds to it?
What?
The party doesn't figure out, if you do sell out the Krogan and Morden to the Solarians, the party doesn't figure it out, except it's implied Liara does, because she's the Shadow Broker. Of course she's going to know. And I want to say, she never explicitly says anything, but she does kind of give you a look like, I very much disapprove of this shit, Shepard.
Yeah. Yeah, Liara was for a lot of Mass
Mister,
Effect
if
3.
I had a rubber hose, I would beat you with it.
Like I wish they signposted which missions actually like give you the characters again like they did in 2, because like, I wish they used the actual like party members as party members, and it wasn't just like, hey, Rex is available to the party for like a mission. But
yeah, that was the Citadel thing, right? Was that you got Rex as a 8th party member in Citadel?
Yeah.
That was definitely a issue that was felt with Mass Effect 3, going from Mass Effect 2, which has a massive party of 14 party members, down to 7 if you have the Javik DLC, and 6 if you don't, and 5 if you don't have the Javik DLC, No, the lowest possible amount you can get it to. There are some people who never pick up Javik. Garrison Tolley died for them during Mass Effect 2. And they either weren't able to recruit Ashley or Caden or chose deliberately to kill them. In which case, for those people, Mass Effect 3 only has 3 party members. And it's by far the least interesting 3. Well, I wouldn't say so much that's not fair for EDI or for post-Shadow Broker Liara, but pre-Shadow Broker Liara is dead boring, and Vega is pretty boring too.
Yeah, I forgot if I said this, so I'll just say it again if I did already. But like before Tali getting shit faced, my favorite scene was the one where you beat the shit out of Vega.
Yeah.
Because like he talked mad shit, so just using the interrupts to get it so you just beat the shit out of him while he gets no hits in was great.
Oh. What did you do with Khalees Al-Jalani in each of the games?
I gave her interviews in 1 and 2. I saw that you can pick her up in the Citadel, and I never found her even though I wanted to.
So here's the great thing. In Mass Effect 1 and 2, you just get Mass Effect 1, if you make a certain renegade dialogue choice, Shepard just socks her in the face. Mass Effect 2, it's a renegade interrupt. Mass Effect 3, if you take the renegade interrupt, Khaleesi ducks the first punch and you get a second renegade interrupt. if you miss the second renegade interrupt, Khaleesi socks Shepard out.
Nice.
And if you actually complete the second renegade interrupt, Shepard does a big, I guess I don't know who to compare it to. I guess for pink's sake, Drew McIntyre headbutt to Khaleesi Al-Jalani and knocks her out.
I like it.
I can understand.
I just want to get in real quick. I love the idea that Renegade Shepard abuses journalists so routinely. They've started learning and they're trying to outbox him now.
Yeah. she's been taking the fucking M7 classes.
Yeah. Mass Effect 4, you're like, there's another N7 ship trailing us. We need, quick, link up comms. We need to ask them why they're trailing us. And it's just Khaleesi on the other line.
Yeah, she's conducting an interview through the comms.
You've got a new party member, and they're like, what's the big deal here? Well, Shepard, Garrus, Liara, whoever, they're all just mortified.
Yeah. But I understand why some people might hate her. I hated the interviewer chick in
Diana Allers.
Yeah, Diana. I disliked her more than I did Al-Jilani, just because her options weren't as interesting. Because with Al-Jilani, both of the interviews you do for her, you if you have the right stats, which I had in all three games, if you have the right speech stats, then you can pretty much just win any interview, and you can just spin whatever story you want, and then the game eventually just tells you, all right, it's done. With Diana, it's like, all right, so you get one choice. If your stat is high enough, then you can choose one choice, and then the game, if you interact with the interviewer after that, the game tells you that you lost.
And not only that, she's not got the whole vindictive tabloid charm that Jelani does. She's just super softball interviewer. If you do make the right choices, it seems like she was just honestly asking questions like, Shepard, how does it feel to be so awesome? Right? And you want to know why Diana Allers was handled like this and they killed off the Asian interviewer chick from the first 2 games?
Diana goes up to your room, goes, "What up? Is that true?"
You can take Diana Allers to your room and show her that Wubba Dub is true. By the way,
oh man,
I had no interest in that. I not only did I have no interest in that. After the second interview, she went, Shepard, I can stay if you want. And I went, and I had Shepard go, nah, ma'am, it's fine.
Nah,
rejected.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining the fucking Fresh Prince throwing Jazzy Jeff out the door. But it's an elevator, so you have to throw in the elevator and then hit the button.
Shepard throws Diana on the airlock. Javik is cheering in the background.
Alternatively, all he has to do is just simply hit the intercom. Javik.
Yeah.
Don't even need to tell him the rest. It's Javik. He knows what to do.
Yeah.
Like that, if Javik returns in Mass Effect 4, there should just be any time that there's a party member that really pisses you or Javik off. Just have a bunch of expendable people who come on the ship, and at some point they piss you or Javik off, and it just cuts, the camera just cuts to the outside of the Normandy, and you see them floating away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, either which way. Yeah, Diana Allers is handled the way she is because the voice actress and motion capture actress and facial capture actress for her was a IGN employee.
So that's why
This
she,
was funny.
so that's why she sucks at journalism. I see.
Uh-huh.
Too
Which
much
is why
water on
she
the
gets
Normandy.
this super generous portrayal where Mass Effect is otherwise pretty cynical of journalists. That is also like, oh, by the way, isn't she also like mad hot? You want to sleep with her? And I routinely forget about Diana Allers because she sucks. And
Yeah.
every time I remember her, I think, you know, she's pretty close to being the second worst thing about that game, other than the fucking ending.
Oh no, it's a hierarchy. It's the ending, Kai Lang, Diana.
Kai Lang's pretty bad. Kai Lang
You
is
know,
pretty fucking bad.
yeah. I saw the email. I saw the email, and I just went, God damn it.
Yeah, it's on. He does that to you. He breaks into Anderson's house and just eats his cereal, then leaves.
What kind of menace
Have you not
does
heard about
that?
that?
Kai Lang is a secret raccoon. That's why he has a domino mask.
Mass Effect 4, I almost expect you talk to Liara at some point, and the subject of Kai Lang comes up, and I almost expect Liara to say, yeah, he broke in my house and took a shit in my toilet. Who does that?
He broke into my house on fucking helium and then took a shit on my table. Meanwhile, like out of focus, Kai Lang is in the background, going through fucking the Normandy's like trash.
Like, Garrus just comes up. He took all my guns, and I had them organized in the right order, and he put them out of order. What a fucking heel!
Yeah. Like Kai Lang sucks so much because they really wanted a revengeance Raiden, but what they got was zombie Liu Kang.
What they got was Sasuke.
No, like Sasuke
Well,
was
he's not like Sasuke in terms of character and motivation, but I mean, in terms of aesthetic, look at him. He does the fucking Naruto run.
Does he? I never saw him run. Because
All
of
the
how,
Cerberus ninjas do.
I never saw that because of how I played the game. By the time that they would have had the chance to run, they were ragdolling on the ground, including Kai Lang. I had a shotgun. I had the Get shotgun. I had the Get shotgun maxed out with maxed out damage, and my two things were armor piercing and barrier piercing. So basically, Kai Lang fucking died.
Oh yeah.
Like
the moment that boss fight starts, you hit the hit the little ability menu pause, and it's like, okay, Tolly, set him on fire. Garrus, hit him with one of those grenade launcher shots. I have a cane.
Yeah.
I'm gonna blow the fucking ass off of this Cerberus ship. Watch. I'm saying in Mass Effect 2 and 3 that you just walk around with a nuke launcher and you can use it.
Yeah. I also really liked how in the DLC mission there's a character, there's a boss fight that has two bosses in it, technically. If you do the boss fight, one of the bosses die, and that's what triggers the actual like end cutscene. But you can kill both of the bosses. If you kill both of the bosses, which I did, then one of them will live, even though they died. Like their corpse collapsed and ragdolled. They were dead.
They just get up with a hole in their head.
Yeah.
A little bit of gray matter spills out as they leave. They didn't
but
need it.
yeah, but yeah, like basically, like I don't know if I'd say I liked Mass Effect. I liked Garrus. I like the character interactions, which is most of Mass Effect. But it's the other stuff that I was like, well, I don't know. it's like the guns just felt really bad in two. Like two was the best one out of the three, but the guns felt really bad in two. At least
Yeah, the
at least
quality
in
of the
three.
actual combat gets better with each game.
At least in three, the like as a reference to Mass Effect One, with in the Joki DLC. If you do the Joki DLC, you get a pistol that does a fuck ton of damage because it's balanced like the starter gun in Mass Effect One, and that basically means it has all of the penetration and all of the damage. You don't need to use any other gun. So I didn't. Like at the end of the game, I carried three weapons. I had a sniper rifle that did good damage, but I never used. It was pretty much just for show. I had the pistol that I sniped people with, because like anything short of a boss, it killed in one shot, and bosses it get killed in like five. And then I also had a shotgun that was cranked to max damage that I never used because I had the pistol that killed everything in one shot. But for people like Kai Leng, when the pistol just couldn't cut it, I just ran up to Kai Leng and shot him with the shotgun, and he just dropped dead immediately.
As he deserves.
Yeah.
Truly.
Okay, so Mass Effect 2, the best mission in all of Mass Effect 2 has got to be the Morden loyalty mission, right?
Yeah.
Like, that one entirely, like, there's a reason last week I said, like, boy, Mass Effect 1 is just kind of like the genophages there, isn't it? And then Mass Effect 2 and 3, oh boy. Man, yeah, there's a, oof. That's good shit. That's good
Yeah.
shit. I struggle to think what would be the second or third best loyalty missions then. Tolly's is great. Tolly's is great, especially. So I don't know how people are able to do it, but there have been some people able to bring Legion on Tolly's loyalty mission. And do you remember what Tolly's loyalty mission is?
Not immediately. Is it killing gas? I think it's killing gas.
It's the trial.
Oh yeah, shit.
The trial
Oh,
to prove
no.
that Tolly isn't a Geth conspirator. And you can bring Legion on that mission.
Nice. No,
And like
it's
everyone in that mission is like, what the fuck?
Including Legion.
Legion.
That's fair. That's like taking fucking Garrus and Liara on the quarantine mission.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can just bring Garrus on that, and Garrus is like, okay. What? There's some mission where one of the NPCs asks Shepard like, "Oh yeah, you want to do this?" And Shepard says something along the lines of like, "I don't want to endanger my party members or my squad mates." And Garrus just says, "I wonder where that was an option. I wonder where no was just something we could say."
Yeah. Oh, like they wrote Garrus wonderfully. Like as the series went on, Garrus went from just being a guy to being the best sort of murder hobo, because he only goes out, like he only goes all out in actual combat, but otherwise he's just like, so Shepard, I got really drunk and I may have rigged your house to explode if people break in. And like that's
Which one? The one on Earth? Because that one's almost certainly already blown up.
one of Shepard's houses, one of his many.
One of them. Oh god, right! You get a house in Mass Effect 1, and you just ignore it for the rest of the series.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
man!
like,
Now I'm just stuck on all the little NPCs, all the little party member dialogues you can miss. If you take, Miranda's loyalty mission in Mass Effect 2, that's all about saving her little sister, right?
Yeah.
You can take Jack on that mission, and when you get to the end bit where there's the sorry mercenary or whatever trying to kidnap run away with Miranda's little sister, she looks at Miranda and says that Miranda dresses like a whore. And Jack looks at the Asaria and goes, "Ooh, I like her. Can we recruit her?"
I mean, like, I was going to say Jack has a point. Then I remember Jack's default design, which I immediately changed.
All right, that's the really great thing about it. Is like, Jack, if Miranda's dressed like that, what does that make you? Oh boy! Since you're playing through the Legendary Edition, you didn't get to see the extensive collection of ass shots they have of Miranda. By the way,
good.
They have a couple still in there, I think, but Mass Effect 2, the original version, was notorious because almost every dialogue with Miranda was shot from the perspective of her ass.
As it should be.
I don't know what it is, but the only human party member that I liked in the entire series was Kasumi. That's probably just because That's probably just because Kasumi didn't invade the story. It was just I could just be walking around with fucking Garrus and Tali, and Kasumi would just be like, Jack's story is fucking sad.
Yeah.
Yo.
Well, Kasumi just. Well, that's the thing that's weird about Kasumi after you get used to talking to her. It's like, oh, she's just a weird pervert who's not talking with anyone. She's just spying on them all.
Yeah.
And here's the thing you missed. Fun fact. If you romance someone in Mass Effect 2, Kasumi spies on you having sex. And you can go and talk to her about it.
I also missed Kasumi in Mass Effect 3 because even though I looked, I couldn't find which mission she's supposed to be in. She lived.
So here's a really great thing, by the way. So down in the engine room, there's that part right next to the big warp Mass Effect core engine.
Yeah.
There's a little walkway to it. And then there's a console there. So if you romance Miranda, her and Shepard end up having sex on that console. Now, the first thing that occurs to you is, for one thing, where were Tali and the engineers when that happened? The second thing that occurs to you is the upper 3 or 4 floors of the Normandy have windows that look down onto the Mass Effect core. So, like, the Normandy crew is probably all bunched up against the windows looking at Shepard and Miranda having sex down there. And the third thing is when you go and talk to Kasumi, Kasumi just goes, "Wow, right on Tali's console where she works every day, huh, Shepard? Is that not a little fucked up? Right there? Tali's gonna be, for the rest of her time working on the Normandy, Tali's not even gonna know she's touching where Miranda's ass cheeks were."
Yeah.
Really? Oh, there's funny stuff for all the romantic routes, come to think of it. Tali gets sick if you romance her. Because she has to take off the suit, right?
Yeah.
And she's Quarian.
It's Shepard's radioactive human cum.
Like, oh no, you can't. You actually can't. Mordin, that's another thing you missed. Oh my god. So if you romance anyone in Mass Effect 2, you have to go to talk to Mordin before you can actually finish it. Because all the romance options in Mass Effect 2 are either aliens or Jacob and Miranda, both of whom are biotics. So you have to go to Mordin for like, hey, look, doing it with a biotic or doing it with a Quarian. Doc, we need your help. And at first when you go up and ask Mordin about like, hey, I need tips for the old, yeah. Mordin at first thinks you're hitting on him, which is great. And Mordin says something along the lines of, like, it wouldn't work. But Solarian sexuality, very, very weak libido. Our reproduction cycle just works differently. If I wanted to try humans, though, I would try you.
I love Mordin.
Mordin's great. Mordin's whole dialogue pattern alone is just great.
Yeah, like my dream team would have been a 4-man team of like a 4 or 5-man team of just like Tali, Mordin, Garrus, Shepard, and maybe Legion. Like that would have just been the funniest shit.
Yeah,
because Tali and Garrus by Mass Effect 3 just make fun of everyone else, and
Well, at that point, Tolly and Garrus have seen the most of Shepard, so they know a lot of Shepard's eccentricities, and there are several points in Mass Effect 3 where Shepard will do something weird, and Garrus or Tolly will just be like, "Oh, there he goes again."
Yeah, and then more than is just great alone, and I like Legion being so like Legion being the way they are is just very endearing.
Oh yeah, like Legion's a very solid contender for the most wholesome party member in Mass Effect.
Yeah,
Like Jacob's wholesome, but he's also really boring. Jacob's also a dick towards Thane for no reason, and that kind of makes it weird too.
yeah.
But what was I going to say? Yeah, like all of the commentaries Morton can have, depending on the romantic partner you have, can get very funny. If you romance Thane, he says, do not lick any part of Thane because Drell's skin secretes a chemical that is hallucinogenic for humans.
He's a
So
fucking poisonous toad.
female Shepherd is like, okay, no oral, no licking anything unless you want to trip balls. Which I mean, if you do, you do you. One line that got made memetic, and I want to say people started using it in edits, is if you're dating Garrus or Tolly, since humans are dextro amino acids and they're the other kind or whatever it was. Morden just very simply, curtly says, "Do not ingest."
Nice.
And he does not explain further, but there are a variety of ways you can figure out what that means. I think with both Miranda, I think for any of the Biotics party members that you romance, Morton says, please don't get them too excited or they might psychically fucking throw you across the room. Like with Jack, I believe in particular, he warns you, do not get Jack too excited or you will regret it. If you get Jack too excited, you may rise up through my floorboards very abruptly. What else was there? I think that's pretty well all the big ones. Well, of course, with Tolly, he says, like, okay, I've got like 10 antibiotics here. If you and Tolly want to do this, Tolly's gonna have to get pilled up, and even then, she's gonna get pretty sick afterwards. Are you sure about this? And Tolly, I believe if you go and talk to her afterwards, does say, dude, I've got the cold, the flu, something else, this, that, and another, and I don't even know what's going on down here, but it was worth it.
She's also on her like fifth whiskey that night.
Yeah.
I also really liked how when she was drunk, she kept arguing with Shepard that she's not using a straw, she's using a what did she call it, like a fluid entry device into her mask.
An induction, what was it?
Induction tube, I think.
Oh, it was even more techno-babbly than that. Give me a second and I can bring it up. But yeah, keep going for a little bit.
All right. But yeah, like Mass Effect 2 had the like Mass Effect 2 had the best party members overall, just because like the most of the characters that I said or that I talked about being great either reached their height in Mass Effect 2 or were close to it at least, or got introduced in it. Like I didn't like Grunt as much as I did Rex, but that's like 3 duds out of 12.
Yeah. Most of the human dudes, I think the only human male party member who isn't proactively boring is Zaid, and that's just because he's a dick.
Yeah, like Zaid was boring because he literally is just like great value Deathstroke. Like what if Slade Wilson was boring somehow?
Emergency induction port.
Yeah. And then the more she drinks, she starts calling it an emergency straw.
Yeah.
But yeah, I might play through the game.
Citadel mission, doesn't in the Citadel DLC, doesn't it turn out that Morden had a kid?
I don't know. He was dead.
I know you hang out with Thane's kid in Citadel DLC a little bit.
Yeah. You can call him up and do a service for Thane, and it's nice. You
I have
can
to
have a nice
imagine it's
speech.
really sad if you romanced him.
It's really sad if you didn't. So I assume it's
Yeah.
more sad.
Yeah. By the way, you know who Thane's kid is?
Cool, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the character, but excuse me. You know who the voice actor is?
Oh no.
Raiden.
Ah. The whatever voice effects they put on the Drell. Like I don't know if that was a voice direction thing or if that was a voice effects thing. Either way, it grated on my ears. I wanted, like, I liked Thane. I didn't like when Thane was talking. Like I liked
Thane's voice is great.
like he's like rubbing fucking balloons together.
He kind of does. I always found it funny. The precise terminology for the effect they put on the Turian voice is it's called flanging.
Flanging, yeah.
I hear flanging, and it just sounds like it sounds like some kind of weird perverted medieval sex act.
It's when you're getting quartered, but you're also 69ing.
Yeah. It's when Garrus gets his mandible stuck in the emergency induction port.
Yeah. But yeah,
man.
like there are some things that I didn't interact with because like the character. It turns out, by the way, just from real years of use, sometimes my X button double presses when I do a single press, but it's not consistent. Like I could blame it on fighting games, but I don't actually play fighting games enough on pad to make that be logical. You know.
What does tapping X twice do?
It runs in most of Mass Effect, but this was a problem before I started. So, like, it usually depends on the game. It runs in GTA. It's the accept button in every game.
Yeah,
and whatever else. So, like, the accept button receives a lot of use. So it's probably just wore out. But that would explain why I didn't get to pick a class or a look in Mass Effect 1.
yeah. That would explain that a lot, actually.
But yeah,
By
also
the way,
yeah, go ahead.
I should probably head off relatively soon, but excuse me. At least if I don't want people getting mad at me. But so with Mass Effect 3, with that better combat, but I gotta emphasize this every time. What a tragedy it is Legendary Edition didn't include the multiplayer. Just because you brought up Blasto the Hanar, it made me think, oh, there was never a playable Hanar in the series. Actually, wait, the Hanar are like the only ones that weren't playable in multiplayer. And then I think about how at some point I should have made Pink play a Volus in that game.
So
how many games can you play as an angry sphere in?
How many games can you play as overweight Darth Vader?
Yeah.
Overweight Dwarf Vader.
Dude, when Mass Effect 1, at one point they explain what's the deal with the Volus wearing the suits, because you never see one out of the suit. They outright say, the Volus, the Quarians have to wear their suits because it's a germ thing, because they live on a ship, and because it's so hygienic, they're, what's the term for the body systems, white blood cells and shit that fights against...
Immune system?
Yeah, the Quarian immune system has pretty well just gone away. But with the Volus, when they're on their own worlds, actually don't have to wear those suits. But they live on absurdly high pressure worlds. So when they go to other planets or go on ships, they have to wear extremely high pressurized suits. Or else their bodies will just decompress and their skin will literally fall off their bones.
Ah, nice.
Sounds horrifying.
Yeah. Which makes it crazy then in Mass Effect 3 multiplayer that you can play as a Volus and be like, yeah, I want to take bullets. And of course, you can play a Volus Biotic, and when you do anything with him, he declares, "I am a Biotic God!"
Yeah.
Mass Effect 4 needs a Volus party member to go with a Batarian party member.
And then the Vorcha.
Yeah, and a Vorcha. Oh god. Well, the Volus and the Batarian could be fun, because it's like, those two don't get as much development as the other races in Mass Effect. But, like, the Vorcha, it's like, what, is he just gonna rummage through your trash?
Yeah, like I just want a Vorcha that has like chaotic neutral energy for the whole game.
Like, yeah, you take him to one mission, he's like, "We should save the orphans." And the next mission, he's like, "I don't know, this wounded guy looks pretty bad. I say we shoot him in the head and eat his body."
Yeah. I'll start ripping his heart out.
"I'm still alive down here." Shut up.
Then you'll die.
The Batarian dude, just every mission you bring him to, people just treat him like shit. And you're like, "Yeah, your Batarians are all slavers." And he's just chill. I don't know, man. Shepard just, the first time you run into the Batarian party member, Shepard just punches him on reflex. Oh, what the fuck?
like he tombstoned that sick guy in Mass Effect 3.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, you ran into the Batarian little, like, gang leader dude in Mass Effect 3, right?
Yes, I ran into him in Mass Effect 3. Didn't run into him in Mass Effect 2, which was funny.
So that guy's the villain of Bring Down the Sky from Mass Effect 1.
Ah.
And that's why in Mass Effect 3 they're like, "Hey, it's that guy!" And you and I both did not get to play Bring Down the Sky. Oh, did you get to play Bring Down the Sky?
No.
So, yeah, both of us, when we get to that part, we're like, "Wait, who is this?" I mean, I remember starting up Mass Effect 2 after having just beat Mass Effect 1. And the first Batarian you see in Mass Effect 2 is just like, "Yeah, here's the Batarians. You remember them?" And I was just like, no. The fuck is a Batarian? What was this yellow-skinned, four-eyed motherfucker?
They're
Two noses.
the evolutionary link between the Proteans and the Asari.
Yeah. Boy, that's a big leap. I'd struggle to think of any of them that are uglier looking than the Batarians, except maybe the Vorcha. And the Vorcha, that's not a fair comparison, because they're routinely getting themselves horribly maimed and then just vaguely growing back into shape.
I mean, I'd argue that the Vorcha look fine in the sense that like they don't look like they're not handsome or whatever, but they look distinguished, you know. Like
I
have.
don't know. Maybe it's different in Mass Effect 3 when you see some of the Vorchas there, but in Mass Effect 2 they look like horrible goblins.
Yes, but you have to keep in mind, I like the Tarkatans.
Yeah. Well, the Tarkatans, I mean, you know, Baraka's not a horrible looking dude. Melina looks great, but she's half Indinian, so she's cheating. Melina also differs from game to game. She's not so great looking in Mortal Kombat 11 or Deception.
Yeah, I'll get a picture for Pink of a Vorcha.
Yeah.
But
The
like,
Vorcha
yeah,
just weird me. The Vorcha just weird me out every time, because every time I see them, it's like I'm so used to these other guys that you can conversate with, and you get to the Vorcha, and they're just orcs. Like, you just expect them to start saying shit like, "Look like meat's back on the menu, boys."
Yep, I see what you're saying there.
Yeah, you see where Addie and I are disagreeing on this.
Yeah.
I forgot about the weird holes on their forehead.
Yeah.
That's probably their ears, isn't it?
Maybe this guy looks funnier.
Well, it's very hilarious that he's got such a high resolution face, but his body is so low res.
There's something about this guy that just screams, I need to be hired on the Normandy.
What? Like, it's funny. It's good character design, because you can look at below the neck on any of the Vorcha and see where it's like, oh, yeah, like, these are regenerated people who are never coming back right. They just always come back as weird meat people.
Yeah. I probably like the Vorcha. Looking at some of the other the alternate colorations that they have in the series apparently, but I didn't think I like the Vorcha just because they are just tall goblins.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like
they're just
personality-wise,
yeah.
Pink, just to put this in perspective, every other race you encounter in the Mass Effect series, even the Batarians, who are usually just made out to be bad guys, you'll encounter at least one or two examples of some variety of their species who bucks every stereotype imaginable. The Vorcha, every time you run into them, they're just like, I am Vorcha, I have come here to steal your trash. Yeah! And every time Shepard is just like, please walk away.
Please leave. I'll give you $5 to fuck off.
Like, I think I was speaking too properly even for the Vorcha. I don't think they use proper, like, I'm not sure they use nouns at all. The Vorcha are just kind of like, steal trash!
No, they do use nouns, proper nouns and all that. Like, they use proper grammar, they're just also fucking dumb as bricks.
Oh god, yeah. No, they're at least the Vorcha you see on Omega are like
the slum Vorcha in on Omega don't speak proper English, I don't think, but the actor Vorcha definitely does. He's online.
I can see where he'd be a bit smarter, maybe.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, the Omega Vorcha just straight up, you go up to them and they're just like, no, like, go, please go. That's all they say to you.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
that's
go ahead.
It's just funny going to that from Mass Effect 1, where there's the whole storyline with Rex is, we're not just a bunch of big dumb thugs.
Yeah.
And there are so many parts of Mass Effect 2 where you meet, like, the poet Krogan, or the scientist Krogan, you know?
Yeah. So
Isn't that Krogan poet not the fucking best, by the way?
Yeah. So really, what we need is in Mass Effect 4, we need like a Vorcha scientist.
Yeah, and he's not got the weird, fucked up, regenerated flesh meat below the neck. He looks more or less pristine. He's just like, yeah, I've never been shot. Or set on fire.
I'm gonna be real. We the way they set the Vorcha up on Omega and stuff like that. In Mass Effect 4, I kind of just want the Vorcha to be like more cooperative, more like intelligent, fucking rats, like fucking Skaven. There we go. From Warhammer.
They're already pretty close to Skaven.
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah, they are very, very close to Skaven. That's why I just want them to not be on inherent evil, but otherwise just make them Skaven.
I want in Mass Effect 4 there to be something about the Vorcha that surprises me. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Because I would say the Vorcha are the worst written of the intelligent races in the Mass Effect world.
Quote unquote intelligent races.
Yeah, well, they can put words in front. You know, actually, it occurs to me, Morden at one point during Mass Effect 2 says he never does experiments on anyone who can do calculus. I never thought you could probably respond to that with, okay, so experiments on Vorcha are cool.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
What was the last thing? There was one last thing I wanted to get in real quick, but I forgot. Oh, I remember what it is. If you take Morden to Tachanka in Mass Effect 2, there's a doctor on Tachanka that you can go and talk to who orders medical supplies. And if you talk to him for a little bit, he says, oh yeah, I order lots of medical supplies from the Solarians. And Shepard can go, really? The Solarians? Don't you think that's perhaps a bit, suspect with the genophage and all? And the Krogan guy goes, oh no, what are they going to do? Make us more sterile? And you bring Morden in the background, like, adjusts his collar and goes, yep, that, yeah, ha, ha, funny, yeah, make you more sterile, ooh, Shepard, we need to go.
Yeah, like like, that's really good. The Garrus doing the same thing in Mass Effect 3 is also very, very funny.
Yeah. Oh, you could just take Garrus to see those two Krogan. They're sitting around at Tachanka talking about how they'd love to dissect a Turian alive.
Yeah. But yeah.
No, there's a dialogue check. There's a dialogue, I want to say, in one of the games. I forget which one. where Rex or Grunt will say, no, Grunt will say, I've decided it's part of my Krogan ancestry to hunt and kill every Turian I can. And either Shepard or Garrus goes, present company excluded.
You're from the good ones, Garrus.
Yeah, straight up. Grunt. It's a good thing Grunt chills out hard between Mass Effect 2 and 3, because in 2, he's kind of scary.
Depending on the context, yeah.
I get it's supposed to be the whole thing of like Grunt's a kid, he doesn't really understand what he's saying or really much of the world at all. Oh my god. I wanted to step out, but we gotta hit this real quick. Did you look at Grunt's files for the Shadow Broker?
Yes.
That's pretty close to being the best file from the Shadow Broker.
Yeah.
Google Shepard. Commander Shepard. Battlemaster Shepard. Earth military history.
Earth Commander Shepard.
Sharks? Crocodiles? Dinosaurs. Dinosaurs where? How fight dinosaurs? And his book history, he bought Sons, Art of War and all this, and he like bought all these ones, and then it says, bought Farewell to Arms. Refunded Farewell to Arms. But that's such a simple little thing of just get somebody on the team to write a few like 1-page PDFs. Yeah. But it adds so much,
Yeah, I just wish so much of Mass Effect 3 wasn't just like they took those PDFs and made them missions.
Citadel kind of is those goofy little PDFs made into a whole mission.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's all I can really say about Mass Effect. So,
and I got to take a step out because we were having the Christmas Eve celebrations and pizza.
Oh man!
I'll be quick and it concerns you as well. I guess.
Okay.
But yeah, I did receive W's gift.
Yes.
I saw that he gave me $10, and I went, all right, good. He didn't overspend on me. And then I go, wait, Steam's still bugging me that I'm missing something. I open it up. It's telling me that W sent me $10 again. I go, no, that has to be wrong. I open up my email. Look at the email. I go, yes, this is the email telling me that I received $10. I quit. Go back to Steam. Still there. Then I go back to the email. I see the 2, meaning that he sent $10 twice.
You can only send in increments of 5, 10, 25, 50, or 100, I believe.
Yeah, I figured it was something like that. But it was just it was just funny because for like 5 minutes I was like, finally, you didn't overspend. And then I spent 5 minutes looking like fiddling around with Steam, and then I go, God damn it.
I spent the same amount on everyone this year.
I mean, yeah, but it's I don't know how to put it because we've been over this a lot of times, and basically the conclusion we've reached is that you're not willing to change, and I just keep like complaining about it emptily.
Complaining about people sending you gifts is just the polite thing to do.
Yeah,
this is true.
But yeah, so I did buy 4 games with the money I received because we couldn't actually buy me games. First, Pink, I hope you're ready.
Oh no.
I bought the Contra collection.
You bought the what collection?
Contra.
Oh man.
The Cunt collection.
Oh no.
So everyone can play Contra now. I really, I believe we have a Contra playlist. If not, then I'll make it. I will just name it at least Contra Gauntlet. Eventually, everyone will play Contra. Eventually.
It's gonna happen.
It can't be stopped.
Yeah. Yeah, y'all thought I was fucking really into Assassin's Creed. Just wait until I evangelize Contra. Not even the series, just the first game.
Yeah.
But yeah, then I bought Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth, which is two games because there's Cyber Sleuth, the base game, and Hacker's Memory, which was an expansion that was technically a second game, and they have a complete edition on PC, but not on anything else. Well, they have it on Switch, but I don't have a Switch.
Yeah.
So yeah, I bought those, and then I bought Kaze and the Wild Masks, which I bought because I looked at Sonic Adventure 2, and I was going, all right, I'll buy with the money W gave me, I'll buy W a gift. And then I remembered, oh yeah, the reason I got money in the first place is because we can't buy each other gifts.
Precisely.
Yeah.
So instead I looked through whatever games I could still afford while remaining in budget. And this was a game that I have had on my PlayStation wishlist for a while, but I didn't buy because it was always a bit too overpriced for my taste. And I was like, well, nothing else really interests me from my current budget, and it's on sale, so I might as well.
Yeah.
And all of them run, as far as I can tell.
Very
Like-
nice.
Sweet.
Like Contra will definitely run because it's a fucking game made in '88. Like if it doesn't run, then I will be very surprised. And considering I got as far as the main menu of the game, it's just that apparently past the main menu you can control it with keyboard and mouse. So, you know. Then Digimon Story, I opened it up, saw the menu. The menu looked good. If you probably have like 3 FPS when the 3D models come into play, but that's for me to figure out. And the Kaze and the Wild Mask is a 2D game, is a 2D pixel game, so it should work fine.
Yeah.
And the menu has worked in that one as well, so So I got that I got that stuff. I also received my gift money for other stuff. I don't know if I don't know what to buy because the sale is on, but nothing that I want is like the things that I want to be on sale would take most of my money for like one thing. And I don't know if I actually want to invest that much
Yeah.
into any of
Right.
those things because I have like $50 and I could buy like Sonic the Sonic Frontiers, that's the name of it. Yeah, Sonic Frontiers or like Digimon Survive, both of them for like 30. But that's 30 or $50
Yeah.
for games that I don't know if I'll enjoy. Like I've been thinking about either those two fucking JoJo's, which is also $30, Sekiro, which is also $30,
Oof.
Ooh.
and the whatchamacallit, the Darkstalkers collection. But the problem with I have a problem with all of them where like JoJo's, like I could have some fun when I'm playing alone, but how much fun would I actually get out of it? And W has no real reason to get it with any haste.
Wait. I could definitely get JoJo's on PlayStation.
Or and then that's a thing to consider, I guess.
Yeah.
But it does have delay netcode.
Yes, it does. Though
But
you and
yeah.
I both have really good internet, so that
Yeah,
doesn't matter quite so much.
both of us have fiber.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a thing to keep in mind. The Digimon Survive and Sonic Frontiers, like Sonic Frontiers is a fine base, but it's a fine base. That's both the pros and cons. Digimon Survive is apparently really good. It is a really good visual novel with a tactical RPG or strategy RPG gameplay that isn't really elaborated upon. And that's fine for me because I don't like strategy RPGs, but I'm fine with visual novels. At the same time, it's a visual novel. I'll play through it like 3 times because there's alternate routes. And then what the fuck do I do? And then what else did I say? Sekiro is the one is the wild card because I want to play Sekiro. But also it's a FromSoft game. I probably won't like it. So like I don't know if I want to spend most of my money on a game that I probably won't like. And then the Darkstalkers collection, that's also a thing of like, if W has it on PlayStation, then maybe. But then also like, if I just want to play Darkstalkers, I can play 3 to through the PlayStation streaming stuff. So like, it's not having access to the whole series, but I can get my fill until it goes on sale for me to enough to be able to justify it properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, then I played Civ 6 for the first time. I
Man.
have used and abused Alex as a tutorial, as the built-in tutorial for the game.
I like it.
The rice was gone.
So what is that a reference to?
The icon. If you notice, the icon of the religion is a crab.
Yeah.
And do you remember the crab rave meme?
Not really. I know the crab dances, but I don't know what that has to do with rice. I've probably not seen it the whole way through.
The meme was basically about how the crab are dancing, and it's an upbeat song, and then you just type something bad on top of that, and
Oh.
then the way they expanded, I just took everyone's rice fields,
I see.
so the rice was gone for them. So that's why that became a thing. In my first thing of playing Civ, I have successfully nearly made an enemy out of Russia. They like me, but I don't like them. And also like the W can tell you, I got like the luckiest seed with like fucking three city states on the one island that I'm on,
Oh, nice.
and no one else is there.
Very nice.
So it's like when we played Civ 3.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's pretty much it. I mean, I liked what time I spent with Civ 6. I don't know if I'll actually finish that game just because, like, if W and I are free, then we can probably do stuff other than W can watch me play Civ 6. You know?
To be honest, I'm not going to be doing anything on my computer for several hours, so I could actually just leave Civ 6 running and you could keep playing.
That's funny. But yeah. So yeah, so that's Civ 6. I liked what I played. I thought about getting it for PlayStation, but I don't think it has crossplay.
It does not, I don't believe.
Yeah, and like I think I've said this before, but like without crossplay, like playing against the AI is fine, but then at that point I might as well just use the copy that I own on PC that can have mods that I just can't run.
Right.
Like you use the copy that W bought me for like $40. It comes with all of the fucking DLC that I can't
if
use.
I got it for you with all the DLC, that probably wasn't 40. That was probably like 60.
I don't know because it was on sale, but still.
With on sale, it's probably 40.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
At that time, which was 2 or 3 years ago, yeah, they were pretty stingy with their DLC.
Right.
I see. Yeah, like all I remember is that you spent a lot of money, and it wasn't even think of like I'm gonna buy you this game. It was just it just appeared in my notification. Like you just sent me a thing saying open up your notification or open up your Steam, and then claim Civ 6.
That's how I did it most of the time. I think I'm gonna now that there's more than 5 people in the Discord. I think I'm gonna have to be more subtle than that. Otherwise, it just looks like I'm like, hey assholes, I got the 6 of y'all I like the best presents. The rest of you can get fucked.
But then then there's also the thing of that you just can't afford a present for everyone.
Well, if I downscaled, I could.
Yeah,
And
that's
saved up
true.
more because this Christmas I got screwed a little bit by getting the computer.
Yeah. I mean, like I have some funny stats about the year from my PlayStation year and thing, which is uh, it would probably be hard to read because it's in Hungarian because you can't actually change that for some fucking reason. But if you check on the right, it says games, as in games that I have bought this year, and under it, or of the left side, the blue side, the right data is games that I've bought, and then under that is games that I got through PS Plus.
I think.
Yeah.
Well, now that everybody actually does get the PS Now thing, I think everybody's number is going to jump a little bit in that category.
I mean, the contrast is just really funny because I didn't fucking buy games apparently this year. Like, I'm pretty sure I bought Digimon World Next Order this year, but maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. I think that's all of the stuff that pertain to you, so you can actually go eat pizza now.
So I must go now.
All right.
People are getting angry at me.
We'll talk sometime, I guess.
Yes, I will be busy for quite some time after Christmas, but yes, I plan on playing more things.
All right.
Bye.
Farewell.
Bye. But yeah, we did also play Fire Pro.
Yes, that was a happening.
Yep.
I feel like Soon took advantage of us in that just a wee bit.
Yeah. Soon being the closest to W had the least lag. And somehow, despite there being an ocean between me and W, we were allegedly around the same distance because we had the same amount of lag, which is weird.
Just a
But
little
all
bit.
right.
The great Joshi will be remembered for all time as
Yes.
the uncrowned Stardom World Champion.
Yes. But like the problem for me right now is that like I just finished going through 2 big game series and now I just feel empty. Because like I just finished Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts was really fun. I liked it a lot.
Right.
And I needed to recharge. That's why I played through Spider-Man Miles Morales twice, I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't want to play through it twice, but the game forced me to. But then I did Mass Effect, and now I'm just like I need something big. Like I need something with more than one part to it for me to fucking sink my teeth into, and there's
Right.
nothing.
Yeah.
Like this is the reason that I don't watch TV series all that much. Like Digimon Ghost Game is the TV series, the ongoing TV series that I watch, and that one I space out, so it's like I watch a batch of episodes once like every half a year or something like that.
Yeah.
Because the problem is that for what it is, which is a children's horror show, it's very well done generally. But as long as you keep in mind that it's a Monster of the Week sort of episodic series.
Yeah.
And so like it's well done for what it is. And that means that if I space it out, then whenever I watch, I go through the thing that I went through the first time, where I go, this show has no right to go as hard as it does.
Yeah.
But also it means that once I do run out of all of the out of all of the episodes in the batch, I'm just left like, all right, so now I have to wait another like week until the next one where something might happen.
Yep.
And that's pretty much where I am with games right now too, because like there's no like single game that I could really just put time into to cool down from the big series. There's no like I pretty much stopped playing Smite Paladins and everything else. So I don't really even have a games as a service thing to go and just grind. So I'm pretty much just waiting for 2K22 to drop on PS Plus, and I could buy it right now, but I refuse to spend money on the PS4 version. Like, it's not even a thing of it's not even a thing of like me saying that I don't want to like play Riot games because they're assholes. The higher ups are
Right.
it's genuinely just 2K and Take-Two are very assholeish in their business practices, and
Right.
I would like to buy the version of the game that allows me to play both on PS4 and PS5. so
Mm-hmm.
so in the future, if I can actually afford one in the next millennia, then maybe.
Yeah.
And then not to mention that 2K23 is coming out in like a couple months probably. So
Yep.
I don't know
Possibly.
how much shit. I don't know how much shelf life it would have if I bought it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see. Did I play or do anything else? I don't think so.
All right then.
Yeah, I think that's it.
All right. Well, I think we covered all our bases.
Yeah.
So I think we're good to call that a podcast, are we not?
Yes, I believe so.
All right. Well, then that wraps up this Christmas edition of the Shut Your Mouth Lounge. Thank you all
Hila
for joining
Salai.
us. What'd you just say?
Hila Salai.
Oh.
It's shit from Mass Effect.
All right. I need to play Mass Effect one of these days. Preferably the version with Miranda's ass most prominent.
You can on Xbox. You specifically can.
I like it.
Or at least I believe. I'm gonna check while you stop the recording.
All right. Well, if you'd like to say bye, I will happily stop the recording right now.
Bye.
Also. Perfect.